The truth, no matter how hard, is not as dangerous as a lie in the long run. Appreciate the people who say truth to you. Sometimes it's hard, to accept. Have a reflection and accept it. It makes you better. In the village at night, especially when the moon is shining, the cripple becomes hungry for a war. And wonders will come in. Reasons have always existed. Who told you it hasn't been? But not always in a reasonable manner. Today is Thursday, 6th February 2025. Good morning to all of you. It's always a pleasure to be here to serve you breakfast. All of you, my wonderful people, from wherever you sit, whatever the medium is you're using to listen to us, we say good morning to all of you, our wonderful people. Some would say our fellow compatriots, But it's good to go. Happy birthday to all of you celebrating dates. Our sympathy to people who lost their friends, relatives, and loved ones. It hurts. Take solace in the Lord. A lot of things are happening in Liberia and around the world. In the U.S., a group of people have been protesting for the pause placed on USA. The Trump administration is telling the employees to go on break tomorrow, Friday. It's raising a lot of concerns. USA is the international development arm of the U.S. government. And so some senators believe humanitarian assistance around the world should not stop. They are talking. My name is Clarence Jackson. Call me Piso. I'll tell you what's going to happen this morning on the show. But I wanted to say welcome to the show. It's always good to get you. To sit there in the morning is a privilege. Let's continue to pray for each other. Let's talk the issues that are intended to make the country better. Let's talk about them. Governance, regular democracy is beyond the voting process. Let's continue to talk. Let's not cause trouble. Let's remind the duty bearers. The people are their employers. We're taking a very short break to be right back on the Thursday, February 6th edition of the OK Morning Rush.
Internet service, fast, reliable service for your home and your office. Unlimited service with the best coverage. You better choose Connect, Connect, Connect. Choose Connect, Connect, Connect.
Is your car sick? Is your car having engine problem, wheel alignment, or air conditioning problems? Then, here's your solution. Here's the medication for your car. Automeds Garage on Gerda Street, opposite the Old Jenna Ministry, is the right clinic for all your cars. With our local and international professional mechanic, we get your car back in good shape. Automax Garage. We have a multi-spray booth that leaves your car sparkling, or Car Care Center, CCC, that takes care of your car interior and exterior. We get your car the modern rims and doors handle. Let's just say we pimp your ride. Make your car look modern at Automax Garage on Gurley Street. We have a professional tire center that change your tire in no time. With our state-of-the-art diagnosing machine, we know exactly what's wrong with your car. No guessing. Our tow service is one of its kind. Tow your car for a reasonable amount if we won't fix your car, and for free if Automax will service your car. Our prices are unbeatable and our customer service is outstanding. So whatever your cars need, call Automax Garage on Gurley Street, opposite the Old General Ministry, on 0555-535-307 or 0777-884-077. Automax Garage. We care for your cars.
I become a vessel for my happiness.
Hey, bro, what kind of problem here, so? The stomach kick all the time. They kick it again now. Care to put it on the traffic.
I say, pay, don't worry. There's a company here called Banjo Motors. Banjo Motors will take care of all of that. Don't worry. Banjo Motors. They can help you protect your vehicles, motorbikes, keke, and you just name it. Banjo Motors can also do live tracking. Banjo Motors protects your vehicle from theft and misuse.
Now the kind of company we've been waiting for to protect our motorbikes and our car, the keke and all.
Banjo Motors in the R Cafe building next to the J.J. Roberts United Methodist School at the corner of 11th Street and Coma Avenue in Cinco. So take the phone now and call Banjo Motors on 0778-886,000. Again, 0778-886-000 or 0888-881059. Again, 0888-881059. Banjo Motors is waiting for your call right now.
And the kind of company we've been waiting for to protect our motorbikes and our car, the keke and all.
The Banking Institute of Liberia, the training arm of the Liberia's Bankers Association and the Central Bank of Liberia, announces the commencement of its professional training program in the following categories. Professional development training. This targets graduate and seniors and degree holders. Courses we offered include microfinance, banking and finance, public accounting and finance, audit and internal controls, procurement and supply chain management, monitoring and evaluation, compliance and corporate risk management, work planning and report writing, office administration and organization management, customer service and human resource management, project planning and management, and computerized accounting, which includes QuickBooks, Excel, and Tally. Duration for this program is 3 months. Tuition is just US $275. The second program covers business development training. The Banking Institute of Liberia also offers training for high school graduates and college students in small business development and management and microfinance management. Duration for this program is just 2 months. Tuition stands at $205. All of our fees are payable in 3 installments. Training program at the Banking Institute of Liberia are facilitated by bank executives and financial experts. BRL is committed to providing professional training to all of its clients at international standards. For more information, visit the Institute's office on Warren and Kerry Street's intersection in the old Microfinance building of the Central Bank of Liberia. Banking Institute of Liberia, the Center of Excellence in Banking and Financial Management Training.
Attention, attention, attention to all lovers of the good things in life. A house is not a home, and a home is the one place where you should feel relaxed and accomplished. Your home should reflect who you are. So, it's time to make that upgrade with minimal damage to your pockets. And I have the perfect solution for you. Home Sweet Home, located on Benson Street, between Center and Buchanan Streets, got you covered. From the kitchen, we have air fryers, juice makers, pressure cookers, freezers of all sizes, and all the modern kitchenwares you can think about. From the bedroom, we have top-of-the-line, exquisite beddings to give you that great night's sleep because you have earned it. And soft, comfortable towels for your bathroom. And in the living room, we have high-definition TV sets of all sizes, unique aerial rugs, classy curtains in all the colors you desire, wall paintings of different sizes and colors, furniture, and everything you can think about for the home. All that at unbelievable prices. We even have low voltage, high quality washing machines and dryers to keep your clothes fresh and new at all times. As a bonus, we have fashion accessories for both the young and the old, designer quality bags, hats, and rare jewelries. So if you love yourself, your family, and your home, it's time to treat it right. Visit Home Sweet Home on Benson Street between Center and Buchanan Streets for that needed upgrade. You can call them on 0886 834 944 or 0770 581 420. Home Sweet Home, for the love of a classy home.
The way you can be making your face, you get also.
You boy, I need money quick. I get too much expensive on my head this month and rock and I get.
So like everything I will tell you, take Momo loan, man.
Momo loan? Mobile money get bank now?
No, Momo loan like some kind of quick saving loan mobile money can give you. You can borrow up to 20,000 Liberian dollars at a very low interest rate and pay in 7 days, 28 days, or 30 days.
You joking?
So you see phone in my face? You can give me your phone, man. Dial *156*6#.
Oh! It's ABC. For how do I pay back?
Let's see when you credit, man. Just dial *156*6# and select repay loan. Pay the poor money back.
I can credit again tomorrow?
You can borrow back. See your ways.
Whatever you need that little bit of money for, Momo Loan here for you. Dial *156*6# today and take a loan.
MTN.
Welcome back to the OK Morning Rush this morning. I'd like to say good morning to all of you across Monrovia and wherever you are this morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to all of our students. Some of you who are on break, good morning. You're returning to the classroom next week. Some of you are yet to take your break. You might take it tomorrow and return to the classroom sometimes the week after next Monday. Thanks to all of you. Study your lesson, make your parents proud. You know, the education thing is a collective responsibility of both the parents and the kids and the children. Yes, it is the responsibility of the parents to create the enabling environment to send you to school, pay your school fees, buy the book bag. Those of you who are in grade school, buy the pen, the sharpener, and the different kits, the geometry set, and all the kind of things, right? It is your responsibility to ensure you can wash the dishes in the morning, you sweep the yard in the morning, and you hold the water, and you know the basic things you're supposed to do in the morning. So you do it in the morning, and then you make daddy and mommy happy, and you can have your recess and go to school. Your other responsibility is to make sure that you can make the grades required to get you passed to another class. In most cases, not just the grades, but to take some rules. Be amongst the top in the class. I'm sure your parents are going to be proud. So it's a collective responsibility. When you do that, then you leave the rest with your parents. They pay the school fee on time, because when you do yours, the parents will have to do theirs. And together, the system can work. Those of you who are bereaved, our friend, our colleague here, Robert City, lost his father. The burial is going to be on Saturday. Our sympathy to you, Robert. Our news editor, Chukon Wepu, also lost a brother. Our sympathy to you, Chukon. The burial is supposed to be tomorrow, too. Reach out to these people, they are your friends, and all the other people whose name we do not know to call. You are bereaved, whatever the situation is. We say our sympathy to you. If you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. Whatever the occasion is, we wish you well. So in the U.S., a group of people are protesting. The Trump administration is coming down hard. The president is trying to implement most of the promises he made to the American people during the campaign. I saw a group of people, very large number of people, protesting against the pause on USA's activities around the world. And I also saw a group of congressional men, trying to engage, the presidency about a lot of things. Like I said yesterday, most of the things happening in America is a result of the domestic politics. All politics is local. The president is trying to, undo some of the things the Biden administration did, in his opinion, to get it right. He wants to ensure aids that are provided for America moving forward are aligned with the foreign policy objectives of the U.S. The president is the chief foreign policy architect of the country, and so in his opinion, probably most of the aids the U.S. was providing did not align with the government's foreign policy objectives. So he wants to do it differently. But it's challenging, and a lot of things are happening. Yeah? Okay, let's come back home. A lot of things are happening. We've been appealing, calling on the government of Liberia, the president, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, to ensure the government made available some $1.3 million to get to transport some $20 million worth of equipment, military and non-military equipment the African Union donated to Liberia as a result of plea from the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and others. The good news for you this morning is I have reached out and I have gotten confirmation that the government has made available that money to get these equipment to the country. I thought that was something wonderful we needed to talk about. When there are good things, when we remind the president, we remind the government, and some of these things are happening, we also need to talk about it. So I heard the information yesterday, and I reached out, I checked my sources and counter-checked, and all of my sources confirmed that indeed, yes, the government has made available the money, and this equipment will be coming very shortly. I want to set my eyes on these equipment. I want to be to Logwatu or whatever border. I want to set my eyes. I want to see the equipment arriving in the country. I want to be happy as a Liberian. Like I said, these military equipment is going to help our military, but more besides, it's going to help the country by extension. If the military got road building equipment in the country, for example, when I on today's Thursday, it was on Tuesday. Yes, on Tuesday, we moderated a symposium at the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex as part of this year's celebration of Armed Forces Day. And this is one thing that came up. Councillor Arthur Tama Johnson made that recommendation. He was one of the panelists, and I think it was buttressed by somebody else. But then a lot of the people who asked questions, and I know a particular woman stood up and she buttressed it, and she made it strong. She said, for example, the armed forces of Liberia is here. The Ministry of Public Works should be making use of the army. The army have got an infantry battalion. These people do good roads. You're making reference to the side of the road from ERW Junction, I think, up to the beyond the Boulevard Junction area. And Councillor Johnson and other people were saying in other countries, the Ministry of Works will give contract to the military to build some of the roads in the country, because we got to get our army working. These people can work in agriculture. These people can work in roads. And so the point I'm making is, when these equipment come and we have road building equipment, if the military got road building equipment in this town, in the barrio, several pieces, I believe they could do a lot of intervention. For example, as part of the Armed Forces Day celebration, the army is on Saturday going to be doing cleaning up exercise somewhere in Monrovia. Beyond the cleaning up exercise, I think the same day in Bombay, on Saturday, they're supposed to be somewhere in Tottenberg in Bombay County to do medical. The AFL got trained health personnel. Yeah, you know, the Armed Forces of Liberia also have personnel, health practitioners. So they will be in Bombay County over the weekend, rendering, and these services are very free, rendering free medical services. Imagine if all these equipment are in the country. As part of Armed Forces Day celebration, the AFL can decide, look, we are going in this county, we're going to grade the road from the play to the play. That's the uniqueness of this whole thing. And even the Ministry of Public Works, sometimes you want to make road interventions. There's nothing wrong with going to the military, to talk to the military, to say, look, we want to do a piece of work here, man. We need the road building equipment for the military. Why don't you borrow it to us? You know, because I'm not sure the military will have road building equipment in the barrier and they will just keep it there. Even if they don't have anything to do, it will just be, I don't think so. I really don't want to think so. I strongly believe that they will be giving this equipment out to communities, you know, depending on the arrangement, so people get this equipment and be able to work with it. You know, I'm supposed to get the listing of the equipment that's supposed to come. Let me see what I can get it. I hope I think I should have it here, so that I can read to you the list of the things that are expected as part of that arrangement with the as part of that arrangement with the African Union. But it's a good news. Thanks to the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia, thanks to the Liberian government for listening to us, for listening to all the Liberians. Nobody's going to take glory on this one. Liberians spoke out about this thing because they thought it is important, and the president and the government listened. And so we're going to get these machines here in the country to not just strengthen our army, but to get, so that the military also get involved in community development. His Excellency retired General Julius Madabio, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Sierra Leone, I'm told is going to be here as the guest speaker of the Armed Forces Day. I thought that was a very good pick by the Ministry of National Defense and the Armed Forces of Liberia. Being a former soldier himself, former General Bio, the President of Sierra Leone, will know how to speak to the military. I'm sure he's following the situation in Liberia and other places. He knows exactly what to do. Now, following public outcry, you know, I think the government is beginning to take some steps, even though there's still some lapses that we'll talk about. There are other issues. But when the people in the country speak to the government about things they know will improve service delivery or will improve basic social services in the country, and the government listen to it and begin to do it, that's something we need to talk about. So we are hearing now that the government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, has implemented significant salary adjustment for civil servants as part of a broader effort to improve wages and support public sector workers. Under the new pay structure, approximately 28,200 government employees, making up 45% of civil service, have started receiving salary increases. This move aims to address disparities and ensure that essential workers are fairly compensated for their critical roles. As part of this initiative to support Liberia's healthcare workforce, nurses, midwives, and physician assistants will see an increase of $50 in their monthly salaries. Other healthcare workers will also receive rises ranging from US 25 to US 40, depending on their specific roles. These adjustments aim to retain and motivate healthcare professionals who are crucial to providing quality services to citizens. In addition, nearly 2,000 teachers will see certificates, B certificates, and higher qualifications have also benefited from salary adjustments. These changes ensure that teachers are compensated in line. Teachers are compensated in line with their professional qualifications, with nearly US $30 million allocated in the draft budget to cover these pay draft budget at that time to cover the pay upgrades. Salary increases have also been made for workers in the agriculture and security sectors. Employees such as soldiers from the armed forces of Liberia, police officers, and agriculture extension workers have received increases ranging from US 30 to 40 effective last January. In fact, I know they're talking about, you mean this January or last year January. This ensures that workers in these key national sectors are fairly compensated for their contributions. Specialists, doctors in Liberia's health sector have also seen salary increases. Starting January 2025, these doctors have received a minimum of US $225 per month in salary adjustments. So these are the things. And we're also hearing that as in the budget, there are a lot of austerity measures the government is trying to put into place. Just yesterday, we were talking about breaking some of the things down, 50%, because you see, things are changing. And so the government is supposed to be very sensitive to the growing demand for a lot of things. And so we are hearing that a lot of austerity measures are being put into place. For example, gasoline, the number of gasoline people, heads of agencies are getting will be reduced. The head of gasoline for deputies and these things will be reduced. We are hearing now that if you are a member of the cabinet and you are a board member to institutions, you can be taking sitting fees when you already probably got board fees. We are also hearing that what is the other thing they're talking about? For example, consultancy. The consultancy in the government or most of the government areas may not go beyond a year. If it is extended beyond a year, it has to be on a special arrangement. And we are also hearing that as part of the austerity measures, no consultant should be making more than a deputy minister at a particular government institution. So, for example, you are a consultant at the Ministry of Public Works. You are not supposed to be compensated beyond the salary and benefits of a deputy minister. So the government is trying to put in place all these measures because all of us are complaining. We are telling our government, times are hard, things are hard. You need to sit around the table and have a reflection and do this whole thing in a way that everybody will have an appreciation of what the issues are. When the situation improves, yes, you can go back to status quo. But as it is now, let's do some adjustments. So, for example, I was looking at some of the adjustments the government, we are hearing the government will be making. For example, we are hearing about, state-owned enterprises pay. Where board fees are paid to board members, they shall. It ain't say may, they say shall, so it's bounding. Where board fees are paid to board members, there shall be no sitting fees. So, for example, if you are already a board member, there are certain fees you're supposed to benefit as a board member of an entity. And then what is happening at the moment is that even though you are a board member and you're getting certain board fee, but every time the board sat, these people get extra sitting fees. So the government is saying, under our new austerity measures, it's going to be no. You're already a board member. You already have your board fee. So every time you go sit as a board, you're not supposed to get them. because you are being paid as a board member. That's why they gave you that board fee. So to sit for board meeting again to give you different money, no, the government say you're not going to do that. Cabinet ministers occupying either statutory or appointed board positions on public corporations or autonomous agencies shall not be entitled to board or sitting fees. You are a member of the cabinet. Whether you are a statutory member of a board of an autonomous agency or you are appointed as a board member, you can't be taking board fee or sitting fee. Why? Because you are already a member of the cabinet. You have your salary, you have all the benefits. So when you go to sit as a member of an autonomous agency's board, you can take board fee and you can take sitting fee. The president is clear. The government wants to be clear on this one. It goes on to say, boards are required to present proposal for board fees to the president for approval. So the way it was done for is like people were just taking it, board fee. So the president said, no, this time before any institution gave the board fee, I got to see it. I got to approve for it. I must have an appreciation of what the board fee is going to be like in the first place. So the president, they said they will be doing this one. In cases where board has performed exceptionally and bonus is being paid, such proposal should be made to the president for approval. They say in some cases, maybe the board will work. The board try to go out there, source funding for the institution, and the institution performs so well and they want to appreciate the board, so we want to give something extra to the board. The managing director of that institution will not appropriate unto himself or herself an exclusive authority. You got to go to the president to say, Mr. President, we actually want to give our board small bonus because this year they really did well. How? They did this, they did that, they did that. The president says it's reasonable, but let me see what you want to do. You have to do, no, we got to break it down small. Or, no, these people do not really deserve bonuses, man. Let them go ahead. They're already getting their board fees. Now, vehicle maintenance and repair. Government will only be responsible to maintain and insure utility vehicles and vehicles assigned to presidential appointees, provided those vehicles have not been purchased under the fleet management program, in which case it becomes the responsibility of the owner. So there are a lot of arrangements in the government. For example, sometimes when the cars are depreciating, they put up bail, as on institutions, they got regulations that look, somebody from the institution can buy the car. The government is saying in that case, if your car got problem, government can maintain that one. That yourself got to do it, because it is understandable at that stage that even though you're working, using it, but at some point that your car, so yourself won't do it. Maintenance of government vehicle mentioned above shall be the sole responsibility of government. In some cases, yes, it will be government's responsibility. So there are a lot of things they say they're doing. And we look forward to see all these things being done. It will be a good thing. It means the government is, to some extent, getting sensitive to some of the things the people are raising. When people come to rescue the country, come to rescue a country, these are some of the measures. Then people begin to see clearly that, okay, yeah, people only getting their board fee now. They're not getting sitting fee again. So you board member, board meeting, no money. Yeah, they can find small lunch for people to eat, but no money, because you're getting your sitting fee as a board member. And all these things, we're reducing the number of gas slip, we're reducing the number of benefits for these people, and all these things are happening. It will be good. Thanks to the executive, but it should not just be on paper. It should be something we want to see in practical terms. We want to see it working. We want to get testimonies. We want to actually see it. And if it is working, we will know. If it is not working, we will also know. Now, the Ministry of, how do you call these people? The Ministry of Post and Telecommunications. Their deportation thing is very serious. So the video I'm watching here now, the men are in handcuffs. They're taking them to the plane to get them to the different countries. The Ministry of Post and Telecommunications issued a statement yesterday. Remember, the ministry has been in the news this few times for that car issue. for immediate release, clarifying recent allegations. We've been talking about our car issue here. So the ministry has come up to say something. The Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications wishes to address recent allegations published by Variety News February 5, 2025 concerning the procurement of buses intended for the transportation of our employees. We appreciate the public's engagement in matters affecting our civil servants and recognize the importance of transparency and accountability in government operations. In government operations. Where am I? We appreciate the public's engagement in matters affecting our civil servants and recognize the importance of transparency and accountability in government operations. Therefore, we aim to clarify the situation surrounding the procurement process and the rationale behind our decisions. For years, the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications has faced significant challenges. This thing keep bothering me. Has faced significant challenges in providing adequate transportation for its employees. Historically, the ministry has operated with limited number of vehicles, often not exceeding 3 buses. This lack of resources has impeded our ability to ensure safe and reliable transportation for our dedicated staff. Who work tirelessly to ensure to serve the public. Under the current administration and the leadership of Minister Sekou Nkrumah, we have taken proactive measures to address this long-standing issue. For the first time in our history, we have invested in the procurement of 3 new buses, specifically for the first time business. Something keep popping up. Invested in the procurement of 3 new buses specifically for our employees. This decision reflects our commitment to improving working conditions and providing our staff with the necessary resources to perform their duties effectively. We are aware of the concerns raised in the recent article regarding the quality of the buses published. The Ministry of Posts and Telecom, the ministry acknowledges that the General Services Agency did not reject our initial procurement request. Rather, they recommended that we consider obtaining a better standard of buses. In response to this feedback, Minister Nkrumah and his team have taken immediate and decisive actions. We have officially returned the 3 buses to the dealer, Prestige Alliance Motors, for replacement. This step demonstrates our commitment to ensuring that our employees have access to vehicles that meet appropriate safety and comfort standards. Listen, just stop lecturing all year. Yeah, I know how y'all can take people to be. So when you say the GSA did not reject the buses, what are you talking about? Is it the ministry acknowledges that the ministry acknowledges that a civil service agency did not reject our initial procurement request. Rather, they recommended that we consider obtaining a better standard of buses. The ministry GSA did not recommend anything like that to you. You bought the buses, took them to GSA for GSA to mark it and take stock of it. GSA refused because GSA said the buses were not up to standards. The seats were better, almost like you just take something and just native for people to sit down. There were no air conditioners in the buses. So GSA said, no, these kind of buses are substandard. Our civil service, we can't allow civil servants to ride the buses. So you took the buses to change them. Then you say GSA only recommended that you do it better. Yeah, GSA recommended that you do it better later on. But it was not initial. When you say initial, it means you before buying these buses, Minister Sekou Nkrumah, you should have gone, because if what you think here is what you wanted to say, recommendation is such that you go to GSA and say, look, we want to procure buses for the ministry's employees. Maybe you take a photo or you take GSA people somewhere that they got these buses and you show them different categories of 3 to 4 buses. And the GSA say, yes, you can get this one. It is up to standard and you can get it. That one you call recommendation. It means you got the buses as a result of GSA's recommendation. But you can't buy the buses. You carry it. For GSA to see it, GSA say, no, you can't even mark these buses. Why are you doing so? That's not how government property is supposed to be. How will you feed people sitting in these buses? Almost like you just go somewhere, you bring chair, people, hard chair for people to sit down. GSA rejected it. GSA said, no, we can't do it. Carry the buses back, change these buses. So how you tell us that GSA did not reject it now? So how you want to let your all on that one there? Eh? So that the paragraph just honor my the long press statement, the statement said too long, I know. So that paragraph just honor my everything you want to do. It's just good to be honest. What we've been saying, the letter we read here from GSA was that, look, GSA said you should carry the buses back because they were not up to standard. That's rejection, my friend. So you can't write it, no, GSA no rejected the buses. GSA only made recommendation to us and that the initial buses we bought and we should carry back. So we carry back. Why are you talking so? You can't be talking to the whole country like we in some kind of village. You know, that anything the township say that what everybody can hear. No, Minister Sekou Krumah. In the wisdom of the GSA and by standards, the GSA is saying the bus is supposed to have certain basic requirement. The buses never have all these things. So what you call recommendation? That recommendation there? No. You know, and I know you and some of the deputies there, you went back to the vendors, a lot of things being happening, you're discussing a lot of things. You get the rightful buses for the employees. These employees are supposed to be sitting in these buses, relaxed, air cool blowing them. They're listening to radio, they're listening to the news and other things in the buses when they're driving, when they're sitting, coming to work, comfortably seated. You want make history? First time in the recent history, we got buses for the ministry, made the history good. Set the record straight. I don't know when I should go back to the press statement. I think I should go back there, but that statement, that other statement, I think it just undermine a lot of things in what you wanted to say. What you wanted to say. Okay, but we can go by it. You say you took it to Alliance Motor. This step demonstrates our commitment to ensuring that our employees have access to vehicles that meet appropriate safety and comfort standards. So, but you said say anything. So it means that the first vehicle you people bought did not meet safety and comfort standards. And that's the reason why the GSA rejected it. So how you can say the GSA not rejected, the GSA only recommended. And you said say anything. Now the current step you are taking now demonstrate your commitment to ensuring that your employees have access to vehicles that meet appropriate, look at the words you're using, that meet appropriate safety and comfort standards. I'm not going anywhere far with it. I just got to move on to another discussion. You just said it clearly that the steps now you are taking, the step you're taking now is a demonstration of your commitment to ensure that the buses you will get for your employees now are in keeping with standards and for safety and comfort standards. Nathan, the spokesperson, Nathan, you calling me from the Ministry of Police. Nathan, I'll call you. I'll return your call. Don't worry. I'll call you back. I will call you back because I see you calling. Now let's move on. Look, it's been almost 2 weeks now since, the government is making some gains. Let's be honest here. I was just talking about the austerity measures the government is putting into place, to reduce, I will not call it waste, to reduce some of the benefits. I was just talking about other issues. But there's still some issues. And in the government process, people will talk about the bad issues more than the good ones. And that's the reason why the government will have to be careful, because Sometimes the time people are supposed to take to be celebrating and praising the government, or there's a word I want to use. People are supposed to be celebrating, praising, and appreciating. That's the word. The time people are supposed to be appreciating the government for certain things, when you allow certain things to overshadow the appreciation, the citizens can forget that you did good. They just focus on one thing. It's been almost 2 weeks now. I thought the government would speak about the whole former governor Alosho Talu situation. We're talking about a little over a whooping $300,000. So in the first place, if the government paid that money to Alosho Talu for true, that's why I say the government need to speak out. If the government paid that money to Alosho Talu, it means in the first place that probably the president had no right to do what he did to him by suspending him. That would be an indication that the president was wrong in the first place to take such an action. Why? Because if the president were right, nobody should be paying Alosho Talu money. Why was he suspended? He was suspended as a result of an audit report that implicated him to financial misconduct, wrongdoing. So when the audit report came up, probably the president saw the audit report, the president said, no, we got to suspend it, man, so that he undergoes investigation. So he got suspended. Well, in the process of ongoing investigation, he went to court challenging the legality of his suspension. We're hearing now that they would do the case, probably he and the government talk. And we're hearing the government gave him money. So if you gave Alosho Talu the money, then it means the president's action in the first place was not correct. It means Alosho Talu was not should not have gotten suspended. But let me tell you what these kinds of things can also do. These kinds of things can undermine the fight against corruption. It weakens integrity institutions. So, for example, why did the GSA go all out to do such an audit when in the long run the president, the government were going to pay the man money? Why did GSA waste its time to do audit? Audits are done not necessarily to grab somebody for stealing, but to strengthen fiscal systems. So if an audit was done at the Central Bank of Liberia, and as a result of that audit, Nathaniel or Alosho Talu got suspended by the president, it means the severity of the things the audit report said he did, probably not personally, but that the bank did honor his watch, could not spare him. He needed to take some responsibility. So the president said, well, the first step is to suspend the man, let the man go on an investigation. Why the man on suspension? You're paying? Then there was no need to suspend the man. Then there was no need for an audit report. But going further, the president suspended the man, put an acting bank governor in Samoa, and later on appointed Samoa proper. I'm told he's being confirmed by the Senate. What this thing is going to tell any rational person is, Nathaniel, I keep calling the man Nathaniel Talu, man. What this thing will tell anybody is, Alosho Talu was never suspended as executive governor of the Central Bank of Liberia because of any wrongdoing, but probably the president already has somebody he wanted to put over there. So they say, yeah, let's just look for something on him. When we suspend him, we put our own person there who can be talking now, and when he wants his benefit, we'll give it to him. So one man has taken away, or I don't know whether you're paying it by arrangement or installment or whatever, but one man has taken away over $300,000 that he's supposed to be going to work for every day, but he's taking that money away, and somebody coming continue to do the work, then we'll pay that other person, so that double pay will pay now for that same work that Henry Samoa is doing. All because we did not want Alosho Talu to sit in that seat. That's wrong. It undermines the credential of the government. So the government needs to speak to this issue. You can't keep quiet, because that's what people say. That's what we are reporting, that you gave this man the money. After the man took you to court, you suspended the man because of other report. So you just telling the GSC now that look, all that way you can be doing are just for nothing. You can even, your only can even grab somebody to the teeth. We can arrange with the president and get the person or and pay the person. Mr. President, you said you would not have done business as usual. I continue to say if the government actually gave their money to Nathaniel Talu, then our business as usual. Then you betray us, Mr. President. Then you betray us. That one our business as usual though. And because business, that one a clear business as usual. So you see, so the government is doing some good things, but when you allow these things to cover the good things the government doing, then you intentionally blind our eyes to appreciating you, like I said, for the good things, and then we'll just focus on this one because these are the things that are supposed to strengthen governance. Nobody is supposed to get a single dime from the government when you are implicated in an audit report and an investigation is pending or you are being investigated. We're not supposed to give you fine. Yeah. We're not supposed to give you money. So what the president is trying to say, what the government is trying to say now, look, the audit reports do not matter. And before GSA conducts an audit, that resources, I'm imagining to audit an institution at the central bank is serious. So if we wanted to just move Aloysius style and bring in Henry Samoa, the executive should have just negotiated with the man. You should have just negotiated with the man. The man would have honorably just resigned as executive governor of the Central Bank of Liberia. That way, everybody would say Aloysius Talu resigned. But you hang a cloud on him. I don't know how he's even feeding, he himself feeding to take the money and just walk away. Well, that's money, he want to take it. But he will have a long-term reflection. Because we will recall that once upon a time, you were implicated in an audit report and you didn't clear your name, but you and the government just discuss and you walk away. Well, somebody can make a strong argument that, look, the man did nothing wrong. If he ever did something wrong, why did the government pay him back? But the president, the executive should have just negotiated with the man and say, look, my man, we're not comfortable with you being central bank governor, even though you still have some time you're supposed to be there, but we want you to just honorably resign. We will give your salary and benefit for the remaining time. The man would have just resigned under that kind of arrangement. That was wrong. That was wrong, you know. Yesterday, 9 o'clock this morning, we will have here in our studio the former head of Liberia Incident Management Committee doing the Ebola situation. He's now a counselor at law. He's a lawyer, Dr. Tobo Yensua. Dr. Tobo Yensua will be our guest at 9 o'clock this morning. We'll be talking global health. He's written a book. We'll go into the book and talk about it. I think the book is about the Ebola situation in the country. We'll also talk about these things. Look, recently the government purchased some vehicles for the county Antonians. And I think the judges too are stand to be corrected. But I know the government purchased some vehicles for this county Antonian. Very good thing. I don't know whether the last 6 years in the real regime, whether county Antonians ever had cars. I don't think so. Yesterday we saw a fleet of vehicles for the county superintendents. They're not a good one. I was trying to recollect. I was trying to bring myself up to date. Somebody need to correct me on this one. I am also not sure whether the real regime over the last 6 years ever bought cars for county superintendents. Somebody need to correct me, but I'm trying to. I don't think I can remember anything like that. Whether the real regime bought cars for the superintendents of the various counties to make their work easy and flexible. I don't think so. The administration of Joseph Boakai has done it. That's a good thing. These superintendents need to have these vehicles to visit the remote places in their counties. Thanks to the government. That's a good thing. But here is the other side. And you know, yesterday I was just laughing. we just need to stop some of the flamboyant things and look, the real work, let the country do it. For the government to buy a car for superintendent, that's a good thing. But to see the car parading the streets, the car ready to Freeport Memorial. You're not able to cross the bridge ready to bring it to the Ministry of Internal Affairs or carry it to the mansion. They got to pass the car from Freeport, J. Freeway, go to Railway, come to Tupo Road Junction, come to EWA Boulevard Junction, then you come all the way, you come, all that kind of thing. I have made a government system, I have made government not joke. I have made government benefit people joking. You buy a car for superintendent. No, when the superintendents carry the cars to their county, people will see it, man. People will appreciate. In the first place, it is the government's responsibility to buy a car for the superintendent. It's almost looking at you get your children school fee, then you pass in the community. Oh, I pay that school fee. Oh, I pay that. But who's supposed to pay now? So when the president appoints these superintendents, it is the government's responsibility to buy vehicles for the superintendent to make them to work. The same way the government can buy vehicles for the ministers and things. So when you buy the vehicle, then now you gotta go power it all. It reminded me about the yellow machine saga. You do the government. Look, your eyes on wait. Your eyes on wait to the government thing. So everybody can say, damn it, the government doing it differently. Then you go again to the mansion, the president had to turn the car over. Look. The old man is supposed to be a busy man. The president is supposed to be busy. No cars then you bring it from Freeport, your power area, you carry to Minister of Internal Affairs. Let Francis Newman turn it over, man. Let the Minister of Internal Affairs turn the cars over to the superintendent go do their work. The president ain't got to necessarily turn cars over to look, the old man got plenty of things to do, my people. We beg your man. Minister Sylvester Grisby, try to redirect some of these things, man. You tell the people the president is supposed to be busy doing different things. The Minister of Internal Affairs is a supervisor for the county superintendent. He can turn it over on behalf of the government of Liberia. He and the Minister of Finance, because our government bought these guys. I'm sure. I'm sure. So the Minister of Finance or Internal Affairs, all the Ministers of Internal can just turn the cars over to the county superintendent. You go parade the car all over, you bring the car, carry the car in the mansion, yeah. The president supposed to be busy doing everything. The old man got to come out to turn car over. You're way to government. Huh? I made it thing different. Something that said the president is supposed to go there. The other day again, at the UL president induction, they made the president to commission, they bought the UL ball for the St. J campus. Well, that one was a coincidence. The president had gone there to attend, to do the induction of the woman, the new president. So probably the boss business came up. But the thing I'm saying, look, there's just some issue. That president, that big job. Man, that job, that big job. All the small, petty thing, you can't make the president to go break ground for the other small one. Some of the things, let the minister and just go do it. The president busy. Let the minister and just go do it. I don't make the president be going to the bad boss. The president will come, you know. Yeah, the bad boss. You made the president to come. You don't be making the president to be going to. Yeah, I want to say GAC audit, not the GSA. I'll make a mistake if I ever say they audit the GSA. I was talking about the GAC, the audit. Everybody know, understandably, the GAC. So probably it was a mistake, slip of tongue. You know, but y'all keep the president doing. Look, the president busy. The other day I saw the president receiving letter of credence from ambassador. That president, a busy president. You don't be making the man to come unveil cars, the county superintendent, something that Minister Newman so will be doing. I don't want the old man to come move the man from the mansion to come be giving cars to people. You think that petty thing. I gotta make the government job to low sweet, and you gotta make the government job low the real government job. Now when certain thing happening, people say, no thing. That the Minister of Internal Affairs to do the thing. You know, good morning, Nathan.
Yeah, good morning, Pizzo. How are you this morning?
I'm good, Nathan. You were the spokesperson of the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications. You were calling me. Let's hear you, sir.
So, basically, we want to appreciate you and the rest of the other media institutions like Bureau that are trying to flag this issue, because the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications is known of transparency and accountability. So, what I want to establish here is this: the GAC and the Ministry of Posts, we are working in collaboration to ensure that we have a better working relationship for all Liberians in the civil service, as a matter of fact, because we are all government institutions. So the GSC have recommended to us. And
you mean the GSA?
The GSA. So this recommendation have been taken into consideration by us, and to inform you, the boss, the day it came 2 weeks ago, the day it came, it went there. They said they cannot call the boss because the capacity is well. The traveler bus have a very comfortable seat, but it takes close to 15 persons. Those buses that we bought, it taking up to 32 persons in that bus. So they say the matter the numbers that it take, they will get the traveler bus to ensure that at least they can have a comfortable seat. Even if you make 4-5 rounds a day, that will help the process. And then we accept and say fine. We thought that the bus it have more capacity, seats in it, to ensure that we have more workers. So we bought 3. But still now, we are getting 2 buses for the ministry to go 2 routes to ensure that workers come on. The minister said, no, they're not get 3 so that more people can get access to transportation for the ministry, because, like I said, for the first time, the ministry have ever been getting 1 bus, almost 2. The minister King said, no, that make it 3 to ensure that we have people coming to work. So the buses were taken back to Precision Motor 2 weeks ago. So we don't want to dignify people, what people are saying on the media. Oh, because we flag the issue, so they took the buses back. No, 2 weeks ago we took it back. And as soon as possible time, we'll have a traveler bus at the ministry. So
let me ask you. In your press statement, when you say the GSA did not reject, but the GSA did not reject the buses, but the GSA made recommendation. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Was the procurement process flawed? No. It went through PPECC, they accepted it. GSA recommended to us that for the betterment of government and long-lasting relationship, you'll be able to get the traveler bus, even if it is 1 or 2. This one have a very soft cushion seat for workers to be able to sit comfortably. We accepted. Say fine enough. So put it into our communication. That communication we're aware. They sent that communication to us 3 days before it came on the media. So we were not even panic about it, because we need to work in compliance. So we were not even panic about it. And the next day we took the bus back.
Yeah, so when you say the GSA did not reject, now the GSA rejected the buses because they never had
the rejection that you're speaking of. The rejection that you're speaking of, then in red on the platform. GSA said, oh, they can't call the bus, or they can't do nothing with Ministry of.
Oh, bossman, you can call me back, Nathan. Let's continue and conclude the conversation. I want the public to benefit. Thank you, Nathan. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so the rejection that you is talking about, and we want to be very clear to the public that the issue of accountability and transparency in governance, we are completely on the fight of that, and we are working in line. So the rejection that you is talking about is that GSA said, for the process, we can use the process. The recommended, we had an option.
One minute, Nathan. Now I want to ask you. In your release, you said in your statement, you said the GSA did not reject the buses. I am insisting that the GSA rejected the buses. It means you're trying to misinform or not. Let me read one paragraph in your own statement you issue, right?
No.
I will read for the benefit of the people. Not for you, bossman. Wait, don't say I'm not reading. Not for you. Not for you. You said this step demonstrates our commitment to ensuring that our employees have access to vehicles that meet appropriate safety and comfort standards. This means that the 5 vehicles you bought did not meet appropriate safety and comfort standards. That is the reason why it was rejected. So why are you saying the people ain't rejected?
You saw the buses, right? You saw the buses. You said the buses had iron seat, and the buses never had iron seat.
No, I didn't say iron seat.
No,
I said, boss man, wait, man, don't misquote me. I said, boss man, I said, even the seat the minister was saying now, almost looking at when carpenter nails on it, they just break it. But Nathan, why you arguing here? The statement you issue right here.
I'm not arguing.
So they found that the bosses did not meet appropriate safety and comfort standard. I mean, they were not something that human beings supposed to say that in your employees. They're not supposed to say that inside our GSA rejected. The point is, don't lie to us. When you issue, I'm not talking about you as Nathan. I'm talking about the ministry. When you issue statement, you'll be honest. The GSA rejected the bosses. And why you are going to find new bosses, the one that are appropriate and comfortable?
Piso. We are working with the GSA to ensure that every civil servant have access to transportation, to easing or transportation burden on employees. So the fact that we are taking a step to ensure that we have a better buses as recommended by the GSA, we were thinking that if we have 3 buses, we ease the transportation. GSA said this is good, but get this other one, even if a 15% saying he can make 4-5 routes a day, better. So we said, okay, no,
but we're talking as chief. We're talking. You are not dispel anything here. Thank you for calling, but you're not saying anything new here. Oh. I read the whole statement. You're not saying anything new. My problem with the statement is for you people to have said that the GSA did not reject. That's deception. The GSA rejected. No, then you came down again. You say the step you taking now is part of efforts to ensure that you meet safety and comfort standard. When you talk English like that, it means the first buses we bought did not have safety and comfort. That's why GSA rejected. So my people, I beg you, will do it now. Thank you, yeah, Nathan. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You try hard, but you not make it. Yeah, but my brother, you try hard, you get love, but you not make it. Because the thing is just clear. If you issue a statement yourself and you say your steps you're taking now are part of your commitment to ensure that the buses you will get now will meet safety and comfort. You took it was safety. It means the first buses you bought were not safe. And the seat was hard. I want to tell you. The second thing, the bus were not comfortable. No air condition, probably no radio. But you say the thing. Then you come out and say the people no rejected the thing. That's why I did money and say y'all need to stop. Don't be lecturing all of that. Yeah, this is the money rush. Now, this is what we're going to do first. I want to gauge the views of civil servants, especially nurses or health workers and other civil servants. January has ended. I am convinced that the government have done payment for January. The government says it was going to put $50 on nurses' salary and other people 30, 40, depending on the category or civil servant or health care workers. I want to hear from yourself. You know why? Because if we talk these things and the government start to do it, you need to say, yeah, the government has done it. Let's have an appreciation of the changes the government is trying to make. So this morning, I want the nurses and other health workers to call. If you're a medical doctor, you want to call too. So you say, yeah, I went to the bank. Yes, I noticed that my money was like they mean the government added my $50. It means government added the $225, government added the 30. So your call, for now, we only focusing on that portion. Then we'll come back. Then people can generally call and comment on some of the issues we talk about. But we want to set the record straight. If the government hasn't done it, let's know. If the government has done it, let's appreciate the government for doing it. So the lines are now open. 0777 700 9995 0555 026 9995 and 0555 995 995. Now, health workers and nurses who are females, I want to give you a particular line because I want to attract more female callers. If the government has added the $50 to $30, if you have noticed any increment in your money, your salary, female line is 0777 464050. 0777 464050. That female line. Call and let's testify. Talk to us. Hello?
Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Jackson.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I'm from Wabena, from Kakata City.
Yeah.
I'm not here worker, I'm a classroom teacher.
Go ahead.
All right.
They said they were going to ask something on you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that if you can recall, I called you the last time.
Yeah, you the one. Okay, you the one call me.
Yes. I think we from Magidi, we were not captured 100%. I think we were captured only 2%.
What do you mean?
What I mean, they said we're going to increase salary. Yes, they're dealing for all countries, but I don't know why we're Magidi. I have a bachelor degree in secondary education, but I stay on the C certificate salary. Most of all Magidi, we were not captured. But we try to find out we can get.
Okay, one minute. You have a bachelor's degree and the government is still paying you as though you have a C certificate.
Yes.
But for that C certificate salary that they usually would give you for the month of January, did you experience any increment?
No at all.
Okay, thank you, sir. Let's go here to the female line. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Sanu.
Okay, Sanu, let's hear you. You want
Yeah,
call your phone name or you just want to leave it like that?
It's Sanu Warren.
Okay, go ahead.
So the government talking about increasing.
Are you a nurse?
Salary. I'm a midwife.
Go ahead. Okay.
I got bachelor degree in midwifery, and I got master degree in health safety management.
Okay, go ahead.
In my position right now, I'm a district supervisor.
Okay.
So the year in there, and in January, our salary came. I did not see any increasement. The only thing I saw was they took some percentage of US and converted it into Liberian dollar, which when I did a calculation is no different from the previous calculation. So there was no increasement. The only thing they did was to take some money and convert it into Liberian dollar.
Okay, thank you. Let me hear from others. Hello?
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Especially this morning, my name is Shetra. I'm a teacher.
You are a teacher? Yeah. Did you experience any increment?
Not really, Clarence. Not really. We had expectations, but we did not see it. So some of us.
So you went for your January salary and you did not experience any increment.
There was no increment.
Okay, thank you. Let's hear you here. Hello.
Good morning.
Yep.
That is Ruby Kane, and I come from my Ghana. Many times you say we are in a vicious circle.
But Robin Kane, no, I'm not talking about all the things about. We are focused right now. I'm talking about health workers. I'm talking to teachers. I'm talking to security people. I'm focusing on government increment of salary. Please.
Okay, I drop the line for that.
Yeah, please drop the line. Right now, we're not on our political thing right now. Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
My name is Rachel Mo, a teacher.
All right, Mo. What's your story?
Yeah, I received my salary for January. But what I observed is that what they did was they reduced the USD. For example, I was earning around $235 USD and 10,000 Labor Day. So what they did was they reduced the USD all the way to 199, and then they increased the Labor Day to 14,000. But if you do the aggregate, you add the two figures, there is no increment.
So for you,
honestly,
they did Liberian dollar and US dollar, but when you add everything, you notice that the same money, no dollar cent or a.
In fact, there's a little shortage. I'm short by like $13 or so.
Okay. Now the female line is 0777 700-995. The reason why I will want people to call their name, we're not in a military state. People can call their name and speak out about the issues because they think if I say don't call your name, anybody will just call and say I'm honest. Some people will not be honest. You know, I don't want to open a floodgate. So you can, I'm not sure we in your state where by the time you call your name, somebody will sack you because you're saying the truth. People talking about that honest salary here. Let's hear you. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't reason who call my name. But I work at the Ministry of Finance. Clarence, I've never.
I will know now because anybody can call and say that thing. But anyway, let's hear your part. But the people who call the name that the people will focus on, go ahead.
I've not increased. I mean, received any increase into my salary. Only thing they converted the Liberian dollars from how you call it, from 80, because before it would be 80, 70. 80, 20, I mean, but then now they carry it to 70, 30.
So in other words, no increment.
No increment.
Okay. This other person sends me a text. He said, "Good morning, CJ. I am a state security officer. I can't call on the show now. I work for the Liberia Immigration Service. We and the LDA have not taken pay for January, CJ. Do your investigation, my brother." Okay, thank you. Hello?
So, good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, so I'm Carmen Kennedy and I work for MOH.
Okay, Carmen.
So, I'm a nurse by profession and I earn a master's degree also.
Okay, Carmen.
At the end of January, we receive our salary. For me, I received my salary, and then I had a little over increment of $20.
Okay, Carmen.
But then my point was,
So the first thing is you got your salary, you notice at least $20 increment.
Yes, because from the initial
you
payment,
don't have to call your salary. Don't forget.
Around,
if you want to call your salary, fine. But if you don't want, no problem.
Yeah, no problem. My US salary used to be around 195. In this time around, I received 203, and the Liberian dollar used to be around 9,000. But during the 70-30, it went to 13, and this time around it's 16,000. So you can see a little increment there. But I think the reclassification is better because for those that were already making more, if you are 20 or 50, they will even be getting more and more. So it's better the reclassification be done in a way that, whatever degree or whatever you earn, you should be able to receive that salary.
Did I hear you say?
Instead of just going across the $50 or the $20.
Did I hear you say you earned a master's and you making $100 and something US dollar?
Yes, 195 US before then, and now it's 203.
Are you serious?
I'm very much serious.
Masters? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Thank you. She said, "Yeah, I went for a Clarence. I noticed at least $20 after all the calculation, but the reclassification will be better." And I think she's saying it from the backdrop that, look, for example, like that teacher who spoke, there are some people with bachelor degree, they were making like $1, and other people with bachelor degree were making 50 cents. So if you are $2 on a dollar person, even though the person get degree, it will be $3. Then you are $1, the other person will be $2. So there will still be some disparity. That's why you are talking about reclassification. Let me talk to the other person. Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Secretary.
Good morning.
Okay. Richard Care work with the law enforcement agency. Up to 19, we are not getting paid, and we are not getting any information of increase.
You were with LDA?
LDA, Liberia Drug Enforcement
Up to
Agency.
now, no salary yet for January. Okay, all right, that's okay. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
The date is Aloysius D. Banning, and I call from the Banyo Road.
Okay.
Really, it is not an increment.
Who are you in the context of what do you do?
I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher.
Okay, teacher. Let's hear you. Yeah.
I receive a regularization, but not increment.
You say that to me.
In a sense, I've been paid by my credential. That's what.
So how much were you getting?
Clarence, okay. I was around 25, but
why you got 25 now? Let's talk
25K now.
So you were making 25,000 Liberian per month. When you went for your January salary, what was there?
So I went up to 54.
But I increment there.
Regularization. Regularization. That means they are regularized my status. So increment should be like, adding something to my salary. So let's check it too.
Bossman, 1 minute now. In December, how much you got as your salary?
It was around the 25.
January, how much you got?
It's 54.
Well, man, start wasting our time. All right, thank you. But the increase, because you're getting 25, yeah, use all the other words. But you are getting 25, 25, 25 all through. Now you got 54. So they added extra what? 29? Am I correct? Yes. So I don't know what you call, I don't know, 0777. So the thing is complex. It looks like some people got a little bit of increment, but then a lot of people complaining that the government is confusing them with the whole LD and US thing. Some people say when they put it together, no difference. But one or two persons say, yeah, I saw Tony that. The other person say 0777 700-995. The female line is 0777 464050. Let me hear from more people before we can open the line generally for other things. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I call for the Minister of Education. I don't want to disclose my identity, but Clarence, I will need a private contact so we get a lot of stuff to discuss.
Okay, my brother. I will just call this number after the show. They will link you with me. 0886 458 902. When you call that number, that person will allow you to talk to me. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, and that is Clarence Johnson. I'm not here with no yeah, I didn't open the line tonight.
No. You can tell me what to do, Chief. Jell did that land. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. I still want to talk to our people. Yeah. Yeah, but you're not sounding. You're not coming correct. Anthony, I gotta change it, man. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Jeff Olsen. I join you from Dubolo.
Okay, Jeff.
Okay, I just want to provide clarity. Labyrinth, really, we have to be just say to ourselves. Because I'm listening to people that calling. If the people do something for you, come up and say on radio.
Hey, but we finish talking our everything. Boss man, did that other thing. We told the people everything. Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, President Clarence Johnson again. The news, Robert, and over the news political slaughter. I call you this morning from the Congress City in Congress. Again, if you look at the U.S. rate, and those of who I'm saying, there's no difference in the salary because you are increased. So if they even give you only in the $1 and US dollar, and then when you go, you receive pay the money. But what happens when the US rate drop? Touching your salary because of the rate. Let the government be honest.
Yeah, but at the moment we're talking about what? The rate is something we can look at later. But at the moment, our focus is on whether you saw and you noticed any increment in your salary. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's a female line. The line for female 777 464050 for a woman. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Oh my word! This is a line for the women. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah.
I'm Anthony Smith, and I call you from the community.
Yeah, Tony.
As it relates to the issue of the salary increment for our institution,
which institution?
At the John F. Kennedy Medical Center.
Okay.
For us, we did not experience any increment.
You did not experience any increment for January at JFK? No. Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah?
This is Dara Kotiba.
Okay, I said it loud for female, but Dara Kotiba, for your sake, we will consider it because at least medical doctor could use this line too. Yeah, Dr. Kotiba, let's hear you. You were here the other day, right?
Yes, so, okay. I serve as the chairman for the reclassification.
Okay, Doc. And you people were saying you didn't want any $225. All you wanted was whatever is placed in your employment letter should be given you.
Yes. So we work with the government. The association had series of engagement with the government, and we concluded that we don't want increment in the salary of doctors. But we wanted those who were specialists get specialist money, and those who were consultant get consultant money. And because we had a week or two to negotiate with the government and sat with us, and we concluded that there's a need to at least raise some of the specialists to a certain appreciable amount. Then this year there will be finality of bringing all of the doctors to the appropriate wages. So if you see, some of the doctors will tell you that they have received some increment in their salary, while others will say there is no increment because some of them are already been at a certain minimum level. So we agreed at that time, based on what we saw, was that to raise the doctor salary to an appreciable amount, because for consulting there's a salary set aside, for specialty there's a salary set aside. So we work with the government, the Ministry of Health, the Finance Ministry, it was a whole team. And then we look at the amount available, because the amount that was allotted to add on to salary was not only for doctors, but for nurses and all other workers. So we could not take the whole pie. We had taken the whole pie, then all of us would have been reclassified. So we said, but then let's have everybody have a little amount attached added to their salary. Then this year we can work with the finance ministry to do the finality. So even me, I had some increment in my salary. And there are a lot of doctors that have increment in their salary. But it is not to the amount that we should really get. But you can't fight and beat the government based on the envelope that was available. We had to be reasonable and then give them a year this year. So hopefully for the new budget 2026, we expect that all of our doctors will now get to the appropriate status. That specialists get specialist money, they consider get considered money. I can tell you, it have made there's a great change in most of the colleagues' salary.
That's good. That's good. When you are negotiating, you can't take all, Dr. Kortima. It's good that you people were able to rationally reason with the government, give them some time, and at least it's good that you are announcing now that the medical doctors, some of you or most of you, got an appreciation of increment. Some of you are still going to get it, but you having discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, so there's Dr. Kortima. He said, Clarence, we couldn't beat the government until it died. So we and the government discussed, we got to a conclusion, but at least we are appreciating what we got. We got increment, but we're getting this year, they say they will make it better. That's it. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah?
This is Yusuf Kamara from the Public Health Center.
Yeah, but Jack. Boss man, Yusuf, call off the radio, man.
I'm off that radio, Yusuf.
We can't do that. Then I gotta cut you or I'll let you go, please. Hello?
Yes, good morning, DJ.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, my name is Peter Vapla. I work with Ministry of Health.
Mm-hmm.
Liberian people, we need to put the politics behind us.
Yeah.
From the past, you've been getting things what you are getting, and now if the people tell you, say, starting from January, those who making below $100, those who make below $100, we should appreciate. The past says you have Peter Fabra making $73 for 4,500 liberty. But January, I went and made $100 US with 9,500. Why we can't appreciate the people? Let's be frank now. Let's be politics once.
Okay, Mr. Vapla. Thank you.
Yeah.
We can take two more and then we do our general talking now. Hello?
Hello, Clarence. How you doing?
No, I'm not bad.
So, I'll call you from Broadway. I also work with the Ministry of Health.
Mm-hmm.
So, we need some clarity when it comes to this, right? Mm-hmm. Because I am a nurse. I did not see any equipment. So, I don't know whether it is a certain category of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you want me to send you my previous, or let's say a life, that means my payment, I can trust you if you send me a WhatsApp number so you can do the comparison.
But in short, what you saying, you didn't receive any increment?
No.
We are not happy, so I decided to call this number. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Abu Sherry, I'm calling from Canada.
Yeah.
Mr. Jackson, for me, I don't have regret for what happened to the people because
no, bossman, 1 minute now. That's not the issue now. Please. What you get regret? Let's do that one. Let's talk to the people generally. Okay. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Cynthia Beach here. I don't know the inquiries. One was on the police increment take effect.
Come again?
When will the police increment take effect?
I thought the police increment has taken effect already as of the pronouncement.
Okay, this is why I'm asking. Do you know why I'm asking this?
I'm sorry, man. I'm not getting you totally. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm DJ. What is that? Calling from the borough.
Yeah, Jeff. Jeff, let's hear you.
Yeah, you see, I think the minister said, I'm not supporter of the government, but the minister of finance says some people when salary will be increased, and some many other people do not care, and they ask that patient, maybe the next salary being passed, they favor we end of March, maybe they do weapon it, but it's not be doing that for the time I said to not be feeling found.
Okay. So let me take the line. I'm taking two more, then we can go now and talk about the other issues. Hello?
Good morning, Clarence.
Yeah.
Good morning to your many listeners.
Good morning.
Clarence, thank you. This is Morris Moses Moga, and I call from Jacobstown this morning.
Yeah.
Clarence, let me appreciate you for the talking points.
But no, Maury, we can't to that talking point area. Yeah, hold yourself small. We'll soon come there, yeah? We'll soon come there. Yeah. We will soon come there. Let me take two more. Hello? 0777700. Okay, so we can open the lines now. Morris, we can open the lines now for general calls about some of the issues we spoke about this morning. So you heard it. Some people said they've experienced increment. Other people said they have not. Other people say what the government is doing is they're giving U.S. Liberian now, but when we put it together, no increment. Other people said little increment. Dr. Cotman called, he said for the medical doctors, they have increment. And then the government has reached a decision because they can't, they were negotiating. All their rights could not be, addressed. So they had some compromises, but at least they are increment. Okay, let's generally talk about some of the issues now. 9 o'clock, Dr. Towa Nyenswa is coming. Good morning.
Good morning, Kevin Jackson. How are you doing?
Good.
This is Ismail P.T. Baby in the person on Nima County.
Okay.
And I'm calling from Jerusalem.
You say you are what, baby?
Ismail P.T. Baby.
Oh, baby. Okay, let's hear
the person on Nima County. Talk about Volapia.
Vomoy.
Talk about Bobo with your love. Bobo.
Ah, you go there?
Yeah, Bobo,
Bobo.
Mama, let me know.
Want to give Bobo.
Yeah,
Okay, let's go in English, my man. Did that in a public radio.
Don't cry on the government. You are more helping the people advancing and giving them all instructions. The thing what the Minister of EFPC will do, all Minister of Information, what you doing for them, so giving them education. You know, other things they put not get job.
I'm a public lawyer too. I have a responsibility to my state, to my country.
I do agree with you. But the people, they in that ear. All the things they're talking about, they just real filter. The post say nobody to say get in the skill, right? Go in the skill, see for yourself. And when they put the jam, they tell the count to flatter all here.
Okay, my brother. Let me take others. Hello?
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Ebenezer Williams, and I call from Clarence.
Okay, Williams. Good to hear you.
Yeah, basically, I really admire the work that you do. Yeah, it tried to bring us some clarity in the public. But you know, our people, the kind of politics we preach in this country, that one at times when you do something and you're supposed to be appreciated, sometimes it will go down the drain. Yes, when the other people used to explain to us that the harmonization will increase people's salaries small,
our other brother said, no, that was not the truth. It can never happen. In fact, harmonization is trash. Today, even though they are applying effort to increase people's salary, but there are people still calling. Even though I'm listening to the call, I know that there are some people who want to be insincere. Like the guy you called, I was taking 24, and yes, he's taking 25, but yes, he's taking 54. He claiming that it is a reclassification and not increasement. That's insincerity, Clarence.
Okay,
now,
sir.
if the government is doing something, even if we're not in favor of the government, at least let us say that this one is correct. But then, what they did yesterday, that some of the things are hurting them today.
Okay, sir. All right, Chief. Let me hear people tell us. Hello.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, my name is Cornelius Ba. I'm calling from the Jalasan Bell.
Okay, Ba.
It is a good thing for the government to increase people's salary. It is good, and I welcome it. But we got mixed views because what we are expecting to hear from our people who working at those rural ministry, we are not getting it from them. Few people are saying they got increment, and other people are saying, more people are saying they're not seeing anything like that. That is my concern. So let the government do the needful. That is one. Number two, you talk about tax for superintendents and other local government officials. I want you to do your investigation and tell us that what are the way administration did not do so. But I can remember.
No, I don't want to be exact on that one. I need to check. I don't want to be exact to say we are government did not do it or they did it. I need to really check. I was trying to remind myself, but I can't get it. Yep.
Yeah, because I can remember some donation was made by the press at the time to chiefs.
Yeah, no, that one was for chiefs, the head of the traditional council in the different counties.
Thank you.
Not necessarily the superintendent. But I will still check. Probably Monday I will have gotten a clear picture. Hello?
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, good morning.
This is Joseph Blake.
Yeah, Blake, let's hear you, brother.
Clarence, thank you for the topic. Clarence, what I noticed is that the government has a very good intent in terms of trying to increase salary across the board, like the three sectors that you called. But then from the callers, I also noticed that the government is having challenges with what we call reclassification and increment. There are people that need to be reclassified in terms of their degree. That was a system in place during Madam Salih's time, where people were being paid by their qualification. Like you listen to a lady that has a master's degree and making $190 US.
I was shocked.
This is appalling, right? So that person, if even you are adding $50 or $20 on that salary, it absolutely means nothing. She will call the radio station. But that person will tell you that I've had an increment. If I have a master's degree and I'm making less than $200 and you add $20, that takes me to $200. Clarence, for me, it almost like you have added absolutely nothing. So in as much as the government have added across the board in some areas, people feel that reclassification is deserved. And let me say this to the government, to the arm of government that is doing this. I think you guys need to work with when Josiah Joker and the rest to reclassify these people.
But Blake, Blake, you know one thing that can really get to me. I don't know. And this is it is not just the Joseph Boakai and Georgia government. I think it started even Ellington. Every time you will hear say the government people can't do verification. They come in verify. The people will bring their documents. They will bring their credentials, their degree, their everything. Almost every year they're doing it. How come we're not able to classify people into categories?
It is surprising. It is extremely surprising how come we are not able to classify people. And Clarence, you know, it kind of defeats the purpose of what government say. I listened to the finance minister categorically, and he was very clear that this year, starting January, the health sector, the police, and I think that's the two areas I listened carefully. I didn't hear about the teachers, but then I hear you adding the teachers. But he did mention that the police and that of the health sector will have increment. What we are saying, and if it's true that we should go by, people are saying, look, we did not receive increment. We only received how to call it, a differences in our Liberian dollars and US dollars. If I was making 150, they gave me 130, and then they added the 20 to the Liberty. If that is what is happening, I think it's a disservice to us.
Okay.
And I will be one person to say that this is my government. Like I always like to say this, because we supported this government, we voted, and we are still supporting it. If that is what is truly happening, I don't want to take their word for it. But then I think it's a disservice to us. And I was kind of right when I started hearing that. I pray that it's not the case.
Thank you, Blake. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Good morning, Clarence. Good morning to your many listeners.
Good morning, sir.
Clarence, thank you. This is Morris Moses Monga, and I come from Jacobstown. Clarence, on the issue of buying cars for the superintendent from the past government, while it's true I'm a strong supporter of the government, I don't know whether all superintendents were given cars. But I know that my good friend John Dean was given a car. He was given a Jeep.
I don't think I don't want to be definite, but I don't think they bought the cars for superintendent. I know they bought car for chiefs, but I will still check it up. Yeah.
That's why I said they bought car. I saw John Dean was intending a first car, a Jeep for Grand Bassa. More besides, the issue you raised about Ministry of Post and Telecommunication, the attitude of that ministry was criminal, and as such, we are calling on the LDCC to investigate the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication. When we say, look, man, when it's starting up, look at the boss.
Yeah.
Look at the boss. Look, that boss for vegetables and cattle. That thing is not for him, but he felt proud. He went, he said, look at the cars they are right here. Don't make yourself. They are sitting comfortable SUVs and they are moving around very smoothly, but they feel that civil servants are lesser human beings to them, so that they will go ahead and buy any car. But then Tesla goes on the track of Dennis. She leads to a camp for buying 2 vehicles for she alone. I see what look at us a criminal, and we are calling on the government to investigate the 2 cases.
Thank you, Moses. Thank you. Let's hear you. Hello.
Good morning, Veteran Clarence Jackson. My name is Daniel Fitty. I call you from the Milk and Honey Land, MTA.
Yeah.
Well, Clarence, let me firstly talk about the doctors and nurses and whoever receives increment of salary. I think the information here is that when you notice that there is no increase in your salary, I think the HR office should be the right place for you to go, and and tell the people and channel in your business, or if you don't have salary, you get to the HR office. The HR office will tell you what to do for your salary to come. But if you not do it and you just say, oh, the promise or the government said they will do this and you not do it, then it will be undermined the good things the government want to do. Okay, for the cash issue, in like Clarence Jackson, if the government does something wrong, everybody will talk about it. But if the government start to do something that nobody know about it, say, but they promised they didn't talk. So that what the people do? Anything they do, they will have to bring the cars out.
You're making me laugh. Look, we don't need to parade the cars on the street. Look, when these cars go to the counties, the people will appreciate it. The people will see it. You think when the superintendent go to the district, the people will see the superintendent in the car. They will know that government and back car for the superintendent. But thank you, man. Thank you. That's how people parade the car. Just laugh here and say, yeah. Hello. Yeah, good morning. G-Play answer. One man will say this thing.
Good morning, my dear brother. How are you?
I'm good, G-Play.
Just that to make a clarity, Bishop, for the past regime, on the President Weir, I remember Sino County directly. I don't know much about other county.
Okay.
But the superintendent car came from our own money, which is our social development fund money. And that was the county sitting, and the system was taking some of
in some of the counties, even in Bong, a lot of people are frowning. I know they took some money from the county cover recently and bought 3 cars. Yeah.
That the government should take responsibility for 2 vehicles for their government officials, but not our development fund that will be used in a county that we don't have X-ray machine in Sino. And our people who are in the county settings, I think that the county say they didn't listen, and so that's the clarity I want to make.
Okay.
Obviously. Government need to procure vehicle for the worker. They shouldn't come on social development fund.
Absolutely, and I agree with you. It is a government who's appointing these people to work. The government must buy cars for them. In Bong, I'm hearing, I think they bought 3 cars for the assistant. No, they changed the position now. For the county development officer and the other people, 3 cars. I know the display. I saw a video of it. It's not supposed to be so. The government of Liberia is supposed to buy a car for these different superintendents. My friends, let's take a break, man. Let me relax more. Let's keep on trying. Liberia will get better. Dr. Tobo Yen Suarez here. We're taking him very shortly. Not seen this man for a long time. Let's keep on trying. Liberia will sometimes get better. Let's keep on trying, my friends. Yes, we must say the truth to our government. That's responsible citizenship. The government is doing good things. We must talk about them too. It makes our democracy better. Let's do it together, yeah? We can disagree without insulting others. We can disagree with no characterization of other people that will be done in a way that is disrespectful. Liberia is all we have. Happy Armed Forces Day. Pre-Armed Forces Day to the men and women in the Armed Forces of Liberia. The Chief of Staff, General Davidson Follett, Deputy Chief of Staff General, Brigadier General Theophilus Antodina, and all of you, the men and women. Connor Gueze, how you doing? Tuesday is going to be your day. His Excellency Retired General Julius Madabio of Sierra Leone is going to be the keynote speaker. This is the OK Morning Rush. My name is Piso. Just call me Piso.
We are just the same. One life, one blood. Sometimes it gets so hard for you. You even want to kill yourself. Don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. As long as there is life, there's got to be hope. Whoa, whoa. Keep on trying. One day, keep on trying. It's gonna be better. Keep on trying. Keep on trying. If you keep suffering for so long and there's nowhere to turn, just take it to the Lord in prayer. He will be on your side, and you never gonna fall. You've been learning so many times. You've been let down by all your friends. Don't lose your mind. Keep trying so hard. So pretend they love you when you high, but when you down they laugh at you. Don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. As long as there is life, there's got to be hope. Keep on trying. Forever and ever. Keep on trying. Don't give up. Keep on trying.
Oh, yes. We got to keep on trying.
No matter how hard it may be.
Let's keep on trying. Let's keep on trying.
There's no easy way.
Yeah.
Keep on trying.
We fail only when we do not try at all, or becomes afraid to try again after the first unsuccessful attempt. So keep on trying. Just keep on trying in your little ways. Don't give up. Don't give up. No, giving up is not an option, my friend. The man bearing the Tobo Yensua name will walk in our studio very shortly. Then we can have a conversation.
I know you've been trying so very, very hard, but you got to be strong. If you wanna survive, you could be a rich man. You may be a poor man. We are just the same. One life, one blood. Sometimes it gets so hard for you. You really want to kill yourself. Don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. As long as there is life, there's got to be hope. Whoa, whoa. Keep on trying.
Dr. Yensua has written a book, Collapse and Resiliency. The inside story of Liberia's unprecedented Ebola response. Collapse and Resiliency. What is it? What is it about the book? Where is Tobo Yensua now? What is he doing? Well, he's coming in very shortly. Let's talk about it. The name rang bells in this country in 2014 during the Ebola crisis.
And there's no
Tobo Yensua will now mount the podium to address the nation, giving us update about the Ebola situation. He didn't give up. Oh yes, he didn't give up.
And you're never gonna fall. You've been cursed so many times. You've been let down by all your friends. Don't lose your mind.
By the time Dr. Nyenswa walk in, we'll take down the music, and then we'll start the conversation right here on the Morning Rush. Until that time, keep on trying. Saken Jiba.
Don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. As long there is life, there's got to be hope. Whoa. Keep on trying, forever and ever. Keep on trying. Don't give up. Keep on trying, Bible. Whoa. Keep on trying.
I see something released by the Huckams Press, you know. I think he's a faculty, he's a lecturer at the John Huckams University in New York, you see. Bloomberg. Wow, this is the book, Collapse and Resiliency. This is the book, the inside story of Liberia's unprecedented Ebola response. Tobo Yensua. This is the book he's writing, my friends. Tobo Yensua. This is the book written by Tobo Yensua. He says, probably to himself, I will not allow everything about the Ebola situation to go on the raw. We have to write something that people will have to read. You know, yeah. You remember Tobo Yensua used to be our country's assistant minister at the Ministry of Health. And then former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf would now give him additional national responsibility during the Ebola crisis. And every time, I feel so grateful this morning to have probably one of the first copies of the book. I'm so grateful to Dr. Tobo Yen. So I'll read his book. I know it will give me an insight. My friends, those of you who really see the book, the man brought the book to me, you know. The book, to OKFM 99.5, courtesy to Mr. Clarence Jackson, and he signed it. Well, I appreciate this one so much. Dr. Yensu, I'd like to say thank you for the thought, and yes, we will read this book. Let's move on so that you see the face of the man bearing the Tobo Yensu in me. And President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf wrote the foreword of the book. Well, she says, when one has been moved to laughter and tears, as well as ushered into modes of deep contemplation and insight, as I was while reading Collapse and Resiliency. She's describing what happened to her when she was reading the book. She says, the inside story of Liberia's unprecedented Ebola response, it is difficult to find a word or phrase to describe such an enriching experience. I found this book deeply inspiring. This is a story of a man who emerged from humble beginnings in a rural village to become a hero in Liberia. A man who was instrumental in containing the deadly Ebola virus outbreak that ravaged our nation. She says, Tobo Yensua recounts the proliferation of tragedy that began in March 2014 when Liberia was plunged by the Ebola virus outbreak, which became the largest disease epidemic in recent global public health history. Then Deborah Mala, former U.S. ambassador to Liberia, she says, Collapse and Resiliency is an insider's view of the historic Ebola epidemic response in Liberia and the story of one man's journey toward a date with destiny. It highlights what those of us on the ground at the time knew to be true, that Tobo Yensua was the right person for the job. Then comes David Peters from York University, he says. A must read for those interested in leadership in times of crisis. told through the voice of a Liberian at the center of the 2014 to 16 Ebola response. This is a remarkable story of personal courage and determination, and of how communities and a nation can come together to overcome fear and distrust during a deadly epidemic. A lot of people already read the book, and you heard from Ellen. She said, as I sat and I was reading the book, I didn't know what to say. I was thinking about this man. I was thinking about everything. There was a time people said, well, oh, they're coming finish in Liberia, because the truth is that thing really killed us here. But Dr. Tobo Yensua is here to share his experience, and we'll talk about the book. Dr. Yensua, Counselor Yensua, sometimes I will say counselor, sometimes I say Ta, forgive me for everything, but it's really good to see you after a long period of time. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Clarence, good morning.
Good morning, Dad.
I'm also thrilled to meet you this morning. For a very long time in the trenches.
Yeah.
Good to be in a cruising studio to talk to the Liberian people and the world. Thank you for having me.
It's good to see you, Dr. Yensua. Long time. How is life, by the way?
Good. Things are great. God has been wonderful to me. I'm a person of faith. Believe in the Lord, the Father Almighty. From the background of a United Methodist. And so I believe that God can do wonders. And it has been a great time since I left the show of Liberia in 2019. And then came back in 2024. Now I'm back frequently. And I'm happy that life is very, very great. I'm doing great and doing well.
Okay.
I'm very pleased.
Dr. Yensua, where are you now? What are you doing? When are you coming back finally?
Thank you, Clarence. First of all, I bring you greetings again. And also from my family, my wife, my 3 kids, my wife, Josephine Nyeswa, and our 3 kids, Deconti, Yenekon, Talbot, Jr. I've been busy working in the United States, where I can even say that I'm between Liberia and the United States right now. In 2019, when I left Liberia, I joined the John Hopkins.
That you won't come to the mark small, so you like all of, and you can elevate it to your level.
Okay, to my level.
Any way you want to do it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay.
I joined the John Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. John Hopkins is a conglomerate of private university, and also run one of the best hospitals in the world. The John Hopkins University is one of the best universities in the United States and globally in public health and medicine, where I've been a faculty since 2019. We work in over 100 countries in the world. The beauty of working at John Hopkins is that you have the latitude to give support to countries on global health issues and teach at the same time. And so I'm excited to be providing lecture even from my own book that was published recently.
Wow. So that's where you are stationed, right there in New York. What is good to...
John Hopkins is in Baltimore, the United States, but we also have institutions in Washington and globally, even in Asia. Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you after the long time. You know, at some point I thought you were coming back home to contribute your quota. I thought you were coming back home. As a matter of fact, I really thought you were already back home. But it's good that you're between here and there. Any plans to settle again?
Yes. As I told you, when I left 2019, the first time I came back when President President Joseph Yuma Boakai won the election.
2024.
Yeah, 2024. I left 2019 during the Weah era, and then came back for the first time in January of 2024 when President Boakai was being inaugurated as President of the Republic.
Yeah.
And since then, 2024 alone, I've been Liberia 3 times, January, June, October, and so spend some time here, try to rebuild the family back home and rebuild everything that was left. And so, great to be home.
Yeah. Now let's move on. And we gotta spend very good time on the book, talking about this book. But let's talk about the generality of the Ebola situation in Nigeria. It was a tough time for the country. I mean, we lost our friends, our relatives, our loved ones. In fact, people at some point people just broke down. Every time. And I don't know how people like you and others manage in the midst of everything. I remember I would go with Dr. Samson Azuakwe and the other people all in the trenches, and sometimes I sit and wonder, how come I didn't die? Because, I mean, how did we manage? Dr. Yensua, how did we manage to overcome that fight?
And Clarence, this is why collapse and resiliency, the inside story of Liberia unprecedented Ebola response is very cardinal and critical piece of work that went into the book to, so that history, when we are not around, people can pick up this book and read it really what happened. And there is nobody that could have told this story better than the guy who was in the middle of the story, who were at the epicenter of the outbreak, trying to put things under control at the same time, manage the political environment. And you are right, it was terrifying. People were agitating, fear, breakdown in society. There was time that people were calling for the government to resign, that the president did not. The president then, Her Excellency, who did the file of the book, let me thank her for her piece of work that she did with the book as well. And my colleague, Dr. Mandia Stone, who myself co-authored the book. We went through, if you were afraid, Clarence, then just imagine myself, why it was for my family and myself. But first of all, I dedicated this work to my mom, my mother, Ruth Moses Nyeswa, who's right here in Monrovia with me and the family and my siblings. And then also dedicated the work to healthcare workers. We lost about 192 of them from lack of gears, lack of infection and prevention control measures at the time in hospitals across the country. 192 healthcare workers died, including specialty doctors, in fact, and nurses, midwives. I have very colleagues and myself that did biology together in the school died because they were already doctors and were on the front line. Then Liberians, we dedicated a book to the over 4,800 Liberians that lost their life from the Ebola crisis. And if you go in the region alone, about 11,000 people died in Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia, the most affected countries. So Liberia was dealing with a very precarious situation that was so unique. The first time that such a disease struck a nation, especially in capital cities. And you saw schools were closed down here. Dead bodies were in the streets. People were confused. Borders closed. So we documented very keenly from the start to the end of what happened. And Clarence, the work that the media did, and you guys were on the front line in the trenches as you just described. And so it was necessary for me to come back and to sit with you so that we have this conversation, interesting conversation.
Well, that's very good. Now, let me ask you, did you give or at some point, were there days you went home and your wife and say, honey, you got to stay out a little bit. The kids are not safe. You got to remain outside there, take out all your clothes. Did you experience those kinds of things?
Clarence, I know you read some of the book, because if you ask me that question, when you read a chapter 5 called Ebola Hits Liberia, you will notice that it was a day that it was really tough. You remember when President Sirleaf declared national holiday? It was between the tougher months were June, July, August of 2014 were the very, very difficult time. This is where the president had to make decision to even quarantine West Point. If you remember that time when West Point was quarantined, and a young guy was shot by the military. The military were deployed, in fact, to do that. You remember when we went to Johnsonville to bury about 100 to 300 corpses. People die in hospitals. Ebola treatment units were filled with dead bodies, and I had to move a team to Johnsonville at a burial site there that the Ministry of Internal Affairs had arranged. We spent the entire night. That morning, when I went home 7 o'clock that morning. My wife, the kids were home, terrified and afraid, and my driver sprayed me with chlorine water because we are just from burying people who died from Ebola, and so I slept in the other room, in the family room, because she was afraid that we could affect the entire family, and that was true because family were being wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
At that moment, I knew there where the courage came from. Our dad, my father was United Methodist Presley, died at age 76. The Reverend William K. Moses Yeswa. We met at family every morning when we were on the village in Panama praying. He taught us how to pray, how to say Bible verses, and how to believe in Christ. And so when the call came and President Sirleaf made a decision at the time, almost 2,000 people had died already in Liberia. Everything was helter-skelter, confused when the president we had gone to, and it's in one of the chapters, the president had a meeting. I listened to Dr. Kote McCall on the show. He was my classmate, in fact, in Science College when I was doing biology. And the president met with health workers. Many of them had died. Hospitals closed down in the country. We went to City Hall when the health workers were agitated, and the president was negotiating with the Minister of Health then, great man, Dr. Walter Gweningali. And I remember when that meeting ended, the president was frustrated that things were not working. And then our Assistant Minister of Health, I was not in charge of the Ebola response here, though I was playing a role. And so the president went to Ministry of Health after we left City Hall. I was sitting in the crowd, and all of this documented in the book, and taking notes. Then we went home. We went to the Ministry of Health that evening. The next thing I heard was the convoy. President Sirleaf, furiated, entered the Ministry of Health, went upstairs. That meeting lasted for just 5 or 10 minutes. I believe she thought something should be changed. And this is where, the ability to lead comes from within. Clarence, you hear as station manager, providing everything you can do, but the opportunity to provide that leadership comes from outside. Yeah. So President Sirleaf knew that something needed to be changed in the Ebola response, and leadership needed to be changed. And so she made a call. My phone rang. Dr. Gweningali called me, Talbot, you need to come upstairs. The president just came from here. She asked me to put you in charge of the response. And, when I went home, I told my wife that I'm asked by the minister and the president to take over the Ebola response. No, she said, we have to pray. People are dying. You are putting our family at risk. But then remember that my dad, the Reverend William K. Moses, will always say that, look, there will be leaders among leaders and leaders among people. So that resonated with me, that I think this is the time that, I needed to stand up for my country, that people won't be swept away by Ebola. At this time, the World Health Organization, New York Times, Washington Post, CDC, was describing that 1.2 million people are going to die in the region if nothing was done, and 200,000 people. MSF were crying all over the world. And I got in the middle of it, reorganized the incident management system team. 3 different groups were meeting in Monrovia during the Ebola response. President Sirleaf was meeting with the Minister of Finance, the legislature, the Speaker. Tyler then was Speaker. Minister of Finance was Mr. Amara Kone, and then they were meeting in the executive mansion. Then at GSA, Maryborough were leading another group that were meeting with logistics. Double Jala, they had disbursed money for Ebola response and all of that. They were meeting at GSA doing their thing. Why we the technical people within the Ministry of Health? The different groups were not talking to each other. Everybody was doing their own thing. And then I got appointed reorganized the incident management team and put a crack team of librarians together, a crack team of librarians, and all of them, their works are, acknowledged in this book. Everybody that played a part, get a piece of this book and read it. Your name is in there if you were head of case management, contact tracing, psychosocial support, dead body management team. The book have captured the work that you did, and the whole incident management system, how it was structured, is all written in the chapter in the book, and the international support we got as well.
How was Madame convinced that a Tobo Yensua would have made a difference? I mean, what's the catch there? I'm trying to find the link. Yeah.
Now, so I speculated a lot sometime because the hierarchical bureaucratic system we have here.
Yeah.
And the system minister.
And assistant minister.
You're right. And assistant minister.
You're not even one minister proper.
Exactly. You're not deputy.
Assistant
Minister. Yes, there was a catch. I was on the radios providing the statistics and the epidemiology and explaining what was happening in the country, if you can remember, on my radio and every radio station. And besides that, the assistant minister of health for preventive services was the deputy chief medical officer. And I was deputy chief medical officer to then minister of health, Dr. Bernice Dan. And so I remember one or two briefings we had with the president.
Okay.
I might have a company hall, 1, 2. There was a group when the situation was going out of hand. Then I wrote this in the book, so I got to talk about it. So that people, it's not secret now, it's out. So the late Dolo, may his soul rest in peace, Dr. Dolo, was youth advisor to the president, and Mr. Bien Keseli was maritime, but the big sharks, real big sharks in those days, these were the big boys. They went for one meeting with Dr. Gwenegali. Minister of Internal Affairs was Minister Ducle. All the names are in the book, so there's no need to be. And when they went to that meeting, I remember everybody was confused in the ministry conference room. I have just come from John Hopkins with my master's of public health, rare epidemiology a lot. So all the noise that were going in town and all of that, I had a little laptop that I drew what needed to be done. I remember that meeting vividly in the minister's conference room. And Bien Keseli also did some work in science as an epidemiology or public health. And I told them that, look, gentlemen, I have some solutions. All the back and forth. And I presented one slide to them in that conference room. And I can still record Bien said, look, but we have the solution of what's going on here.
The slide that made the difference.
Exactly.
I would describe it that way.
Exactly. So when they went back, I believe they might have told the president that someone is in the Ministry of Health that could do a piece of job. Yeah. And then 2 days after, the president had another meeting at GSA. Then they invited me in a conference room to present the same slide that I had presented. So I went to that meeting and presented that slide. Look, these are the solutions I feel. I really clear to the point. These are the number of contact tracers we will need. These are the number of Ebola treatment units we will need. These are the things, and this is what we needed to do. So when I described that, I believe that might have touched the president. But one time we were flying, the president and myself, she was leaving Nairobi and I was coming from Europe. We met at Accra Airport in Kenya where we flew business class. Then I turned to her. I wrote in the bosom, Madam President, why did you select me?
Up to now, I'm still thinking.
Exactly. But that makes it different. This is where leaders need to be told what they need to hear and people to do a piece of job to solve the problem. Yes. I think I was the man of the moment of the time to do a piece of job. And I didn't do it alone. I ran the incident management system. The first day I remember walking into the room when Dr. Gwenegali introduced me to lead the incident management team. I couldn't go to my seat to even sit. I had to walk among almost 100 people. You cannot run an outbreak with a group of people like that. So I streamlined the team to a team of 5 people, not more than 10 in the morning. We met 8 a.m. And then not more than 15 people that we were meeting, the incident management team meeting daily. Instituted different incident management, cascaded it down to county level, and we're holding people accountable. Then the international euphoria came here around August and September, when the World Health Organization have already declared Ebola a public health emergency of international concern. President Sirleaf declared dawn to dusk curfew, you remember, closed down schools and all of that, the political system. That was one moment, Clarence, that brought Liberian together.
Yeah.
The moment of Ebola brought the community euphoria together, and President Sirleaf will always describe it that the Liberian people fought Ebola, and that's correct. I agree with her. And I didn't care about political party. At the time, there was, the administration was almost coming to an end 2014 in the second term, difficulties in the economy and all of that. Politicians used the Ebola situation to, they will always find something to say. The government is incompetent. At the time, CDC were raging. But in as much I was working in a government that was led by United Party, President Sirleaf didn't introduce anything called politics. I remember reaching out to President Weah. He did some jingles, play on radios, went to political party leaders, religious leaders, brought everyone together.
It was a joint effort.
Exactly.
It was
exactly. Liberian-led effort.
I know.
And this book is the only book written by an African Liberian who led the outbreak by himself. There are several books written about Ebola, but this is the first one written.
This is practical, man.
Yes,
in my opinion.
So if you want to hear why Ebola came here, where it came from, how many people died, the U.S. military that got deployed, why they got deployed, President Sirleaf's letter to the world about we needed help, what happened at West Point, what happened in the international community, how the troop on here. And let me tell you a story how this book came about. When an outbreak happened somewhere, like the gravity of what happened here in Liberia, the international community were trooping in. People had several reasons why they were coming. Some people were coming after money. Some people were coming to publish papers, university students. And now that I'm working in the United States and, open up to publications and all of that, people were publishing papers while we were working, doing what we were doing. So at one point, my co-author, Dr. Stone, came to me and said, you are the incident manager. Liberian scientists need to participate in publishing these papers. When the outbreak is over, a lot of people will get credit for it. So we as Liberian scientists need to lead the research. That's how we led the vaccine trial here in this country. The first Ebola vaccine that has been licensed by the WHO was produced right here in Liberia at New Town.
Really?
Oh yeah, Redemption Hospital, JFK and Dupo Road Hospital. We put scientists like Dr. Stephen Kennedy to lead the effort to find the vaccines. And so this book is one of the highest quality published by Johns Hopkins University Press. It's online. You can
I was just reading.
Find it on eBay. You can find it
that's
on
where
Amazon.
we're coming. How long did it take you to get this book and to write this book? And Dr. Jansen, are you thinking about a launch here? How do we get a hard copy now?
You got one in your hand,
Yeah,
Clarence.
I got it. I'm talking about in the context of the public. For me, I got mine. I'm going to sleep on it tonight. Yes, it's, But how long did it take you to write this book?
So it took a lot of time and effort, about over 2 years to do that, to get it really. When I was in school at Johns Hopkins from 2011 2012, I got appointed as Assistant Minister of Health. And the universities are excited when the alumni are doing some work. So when I got appointed by President Sirleaf then, the guy who heads the Johns Hopkins press, Robin Coleman, came to me and interviewed me. We were not even talking about Ebola yet, though. This is 2011, 2012 now. So when Ebola happened, I thought on him because we kept in contact about publications and other work that I was doing in the health sector. And this is why you should have the connection to do what you want to do and how to do it better. So when I thought about when Dr. Stone and myself talked about the book and what we needed to do and the issue of papers writing and publication came about, then I wrote the first manuscript of the book and thought on Robin Coleman. That look, this guy at Johns Hopkins Press, let me pass this by him. and see what could happen. And so Dr. Stone and myself, we developed the first outline. It went through different iterations with different names. Finally, it ended with collapse and resiliency. So when I sent the manuscript to him, it was in the middle of 2015, 2016, almost at the end of the outbreak and everything like that. And so he looked at the manuscript and said, "Oh, this is interesting." But I was very busy, after Ebola, rebuilding health systems, developing new strategic plans, re-establishing the National Public Health Institute for the first time. I led the establishment of that. Very busy, but at the same time was focused on documenting what we needed to do. Dr. Stone was working with me, as a technical advisor during the Ebola outbreak. Mm-hmm. So she also had an experience of what was going on and was putting pressure on me. Talbot, we have to tell this story. No one can tell this story for you. International people were coming to Liberia to interview me. At some point, I had to deny an interview of the story because they could have told the story more than me. Kept the intellectual property and all of that. Yeah. And then the manuscript. Then COVID-19 came. COVID-19 even put some fuel in the fire to let the gas for us to get it published, because some of the experiences of Ebola became really, really the lessons were needed during COVID. And so that's how Robin Coleman brought the higher editors, higher copy readers to work with me and Dr. Madia Stone sat down in my home in Delaware for us to finally got it published. So it's online. It's about $35. It's about $35. It depends on where you get it. eBay, Google Book, Google Play Store, Amazon. They all have it. Universities are using it for the students. It's a book combined into 3 different things. If you want to learn how to manage an incident management system when there's a crisis, you read this book. If you want to learn about the epidemiology of Ebola and other infectious diseases, you read a book. If there's a global health issue you want to learn about, you read this book. So faculty, students, community people, third grade students can read it and understand exactly what happened. So it's a book that cut across, political, architecture, global health. That's the kind of book. Launching it in Liberia, yes, that's possible. I'm getting close to that gradually. When to publish a high quality and you don't have the money, Clarence, you go through a lot. The press had to publish it. They spend every money cent. They got to get their money back, so I have a contract with them. But I have some royalty, and I also have 40% reduction in the cost. So if I were to buy, for example, 200 to 300 copies now, I will buy it at a rate of, I'll buy it myself, Clarence, at a rate of 40%. So I'm trying to find the money, work with an institution of people who have the resources to get copies here in Liberia that we can have. Because if you bring it, work with supermarkets and get it in there so that people can get to read it. Libraries can do it. When we launched in 2023 in October, I think November, we launched in Washington, D.C. That was sponsored by this Center for International Studies. My friend Steven, Steve launched it for us. Stevenson, he's a friend at the Center for International Studies in Washington, D.C. through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They put out the money to launch the launch we did with a library in Washington. So the library bought the books and brought them in at the launching ceremony. So they got the money and all of that. So it's a whole ball game, the mechanics and architecture. I'm happy to work with anyone who have interest in this, so that we get a book in Liberia and try to have a fabulous launch.
Now,
but it's neither here. It's neither here.
It is. Now there are a lot of things that went on.
Yes.
For example, when Ebola struck Liberia, the first message was, when you get Ebola, you will die.
Yes. Yes.
As time started going bad, the messages were changing. No, Ebola is not a death sentence. Even if you got it, we can treat it, we can do it. From a public health perspective, do you think there are things we did ourselves, I'm talking about you we as the health system, that may have increase the number of people affected by this virus. Had we known earlier, we would have done it better.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Number one thing was fear.
Okay.
Number two was distrust and mistrust. Number three was the resources was lacking. But the fear factor and the misinformation, disinformation, and mistrust, that will kill more Liberians. And the disease was also strange to us. You should first of all know that we did not even have it. You talk about the epidemiology. We did not even have it as a reportable disease in Liberia, because the West Africa region have not experienced that kind of scale. And mistrust in government, in a sense that the Liberian people thought Ebola was just lies.
Yeah.
So, oh man, you remember
somebody
Clarence,
yeah,
exactly.
they went for it, but
exactly. So people didn't take it serious. They thought that was lied. I remember the first budget that Dr. Gwenegale presented to the legislature was 1.5 million, and may so rest in peace, Senator Clayton Watterson was, I believe, pro tem at the time, and they say it was too much. But they spent millions and millions of dollars in this country for us to curb the Ebola situation and finally get it under control. So the misinformation, the risk communication was poor from the beginning. The infrastructure was poor. People disbelieved. But when the society came together and said, look, this is real. I remember Clarence putting journalists in a vehicle to take them to Ebola treatment units when you saw the big treatment unit at EAWA Hospital. I took journalists with me at the burial sites, inside the Ebola treatment unit, to show them physically, literally, that look, this is how it treats people. These people you see are dying. You know, survivors. We used to go, discharge survivors from the Ebola treatment unit. We would take journalists to take pictures of people, and the goal was for it not to be, oh, you can survive from Ebola, but now we've seen survivors. The goal was to change and adapt our strategy as we were responding. Responding to an outbreak is adaptability. What is going on? How can you retweak it? What the science is telling you? What are the social support messages, communication, risk communication messages that you can tailor? And so Liberia experience now has been used in the U.S. My colleagues and myself at Johns Hopkins during COVID-19, as sophisticated we think United States is, contact tracing, risk communication, to that's what you saw how the West died from COVID. We had to develop a course called a contact tracing course online to really teach people what contact tracing is. And I used the Liberia experience of how we were going from community to community to do education and tracing people who got affected to a modern society like the United States. And that course was being used in all US 50 states, and about 14 to 15 million people were certificated for that.
Wow.
That's how the experience here has been in view and being used across the world on the work that we all did here in Liberia.
Dr. Nyenswa, what do you say to people who ask you as to whether the Ebola situation taught us any lesson as far as health is concerned? What do we learn from it? And is there any reason why we should build any system here so that in the event anything like that or any other disease come about, we would have known exactly what to do?
I describe it as a blessing in disguise. Unfortunately, and very unfortunately, people died. And maybe the West Africa region was a guinea pig to open the eyes of the rest of the world. But yet again, those critical lessons that we learn are still not being applied globally with global health security. And this is why you will see years after Ebola, 2019, when COVID-19, also killed millions and millions of people in the world. However, Clarence, it's not about what lessons we learn and what we can do, but things have been done already in Liberia and the region. When I was Deputy Minister of Health and across Africa, there were only 4 countries that had something called national public health institutions. Liberia did not have. The incident management system was the first experience, first of all. Then we established, as part of the system building and the lesson we learned from Ebola, why Ebola struck Liberia so much that when there was a health system, first of all, the health system was recovering from the civil war. 250,000 people died. Infrastructure broke down. Only 50 doctors were in the country if you check the record. Now we have over, I understand, about 500 plus. I need to check the records. However, this institution did not exist. Today you hear about Africa Center for Disease Control. Africa CDC came from Ebola. We have a national public health institute in the country. Before I left, we established that. I ran it for a couple of years, resigned. When COVID came, they knew what to do. It's because of the systems. I listened to the former minister then, during the WEA regime, who said because of the system, people like Dr. Bernice Dan, Tobert, and Bill here, that's why we are able to tackle COVID-19. So those are the lessons we learned from that. Liberia didn't have more than 3 epidemiologists when Ebola struck. Today, we have 3 epidemiologists across all districts, counties across the country that can run to when they say, oh, someone having watery stool, it resembles diarrhea, cholera, we see measles, we see something that resembles signs and symptoms of Ebola, we see influenza diseases, and the whole health system of our country have seen that, pandemic preparedness is critical to health system resilience. So those are the lessons that we learned. We now know that we can develop therapeutics and other vaccines and other things that, research and all of those capacity building have been done.
Okay.
Those are the lessons.
Today we have Dr. Tobo Yenswa. He's the author of this book, Collapse and Resiliency, the inside story of Liberia's unprecedented Ebola response. We're having a conversation here. Dr. Yenswa, let's place a little bit of spotlight or perspective on global health issues before we take the lines. And this is in particular reference to some of the decisions by President Donald Trump. I'm concerned about, and a lot of people are concerned about the administration recent announcement about pulling out of the WHO and suspending or reviewing global aids and all these kinds of things. From your perspective and your view, what does this mean for a country like Liberia, for example? Because yesterday somebody was talking, the parent was saying, Clarence, remember this is a review. What happens if after the revision the team report that you need to cut certain thing off? In the event America pulls out of the WHO and the situation remains the way it is, what do you think?
The first thing is it's catastrophic. It is sad, and second, it's not in the best interest of the United States itself.
You think so?
Yes, it's not in the best interest of the United States, and I know sooner or later some of those decisions will be revisited. And I understand. I read a letter from the WHO Director General to the U.S. government that, look, please try to reconsider your decision. The United States played a critical role in global health. And when I say it's not in the best interest of the United States health security, is that the U.S. is needed on the table at the WHO to make global decisions. From my perspective and experience, there is no way the U.S. can be out of WHO and all these critical decisions are being made. And it is happening at a time where we are negotiating the pandemic treaty. There's an intergovernmental body that is set up to to sign a treaty globally about how we do pandemic and epidemic response. So U.S. pulling out of some of those negotiations that are going on are not they are not encouraging. They are not in the best interest, because this is how global health security works. Clarence Piso, when a disease happens right here in Liberia, under the international health regulation, Liberia is supposed to report it to WHO. And WHO composed of 193 countries. Then decisions are made at that level for countries to do that. Liberia cannot report to the United States about an outbreak unless you have a close relationship and they're working with you in your country. But in the global health context, our reporting China of outbreaks and infectious diseases and pandemics and all of these things, when they are about to happen, they go through the WHO under what we call the International Health Regulation of 2005. So the U.S. have to come back on the table for the decisions to be made. Some of the point that Mr. Trump is raising is that the U.S. is paying a lot. That's correct. You know, a country that covers the rest of the world, U.S. is paying almost $500 million a year to the WHO's budget. And then you look at the geopolitical and the global political tension between countries, China, the U.S., and all of this is playing in as well. The U.S. is saying, look, we can be paying $500 million, you paying $39 million, pay your fair share.
Yeah.
And if we are paying a lot of the money, we must have the same. So these are the things that, but it is not good. The reason it's not good for countries like Liberia, imagine USAID writing a letter to cut off aid to institutions that are supporting your hospitals here. The Global Fund provide a lot of our HIV, AIDS, TB, and malaria resources and medication, and the major donor to the Global Fund is the U.S. And imagine at one of the hospitals, Piso, where people have to have HIV test kits, TB test kits, malaria test kits, and for you to even do blood transfusion, they have to use those test kits to test your blood for some of the pathogens before they can transfuse blood, and these things are cut off from the hospital. That's what put a dent on some of the resources that are in government. So government need to find a strategy to see how to brace herself on. If I were to write a policy prescription, I would be happy to make some recommendations to government on these are the things that you can do through this policy brief, so that you get prepared when these things are cut up. I hope U.S. will come back on the table, and I know there are conversations taking place from a vantage point that try to get the U.S. back on the table.
I hope the U.S. comes back on the table. Dr. Tobo Yensua. We can now talk to you. You heard him. Collapse and resiliency. The inside story. I just like this word. The inside story. The inside story of Liberia's unprecedented Ebola response by Dr. Tobo Yensua. 0777700995 026995 0555995995. Good morning.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Let me say good morning to the guest and to Brent following your show. I'm CRC Emmanuel Super Junior of the Intellectual Cloud, edition number 14. Now, the discussion that you guys cried, it showed a bad memory to us when we tried to retrospect what happened in Ebola, saying how we lost our close friends and affiliates, some of our family we lost an entire house. However, I would give it out to these medical people who put their technical thing together and managed to have saved Liberia out of our traumatic thing. I think that's why you give the strength to have resisted the COVID-19, because by then the health center already prepared, to withstand COVID-19.
You're right. Thank you. Next caller. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Clarence Rumble Dakel here, and good morning to Doc.
Good morning.
William Dakel, how are you?
Yeah, my friend, thank you, Clarence. And he just reminded me of those terrible days. And I remember when this whole thing started, the people were keeping surveillance. So early that morning, I got a call from Dr. Brandy's dad. And I was concerned, why was she calling? And then after a moment, how you doing? How's everything? You okay? And I said, yes, doc. She said, okay, Dr. Gonagali want to speak with you. Then Doc said, we got information that there's a person, where do you live? And all the kind of question. So that I told them, no, really, our surveillance team were already in the field, very close to my residence, where they got information that somebody were. So that was the first interaction with them. Then later, Dr. Insra started in contact with me because my district was a red zone, a very red zone. The Banjo Inn, there was a specific Wednesday where 29 person died. Wow. Then the VOA bell. So what was happening at the time, we were only picking up the body and there was no treatment center. So the tension started to mount. So Dr. Yinswa, given the red line of my zone, he decided, well, we need to find a place for an ETU. We went via Clarence, the young people, we went with a donor partners, we're trying to find a place. The guy put a roadblock that day. They said, we can't go there. Oh, that's the only thing you can bring for you want can get over your Ebola, blah, blah, blah. We left from there, we went Moton Kono. Finally, we came to the United Conference Center, and there were Dr. Yinsra said, but this place is closer, at least we can rather eat you here. So we did that. They found out race that I took Clarence when I took a BBL woman. Early morning, at peaceful midnight of Tuesday, I drove that woman to Redemption, no bed, to JFK, no bed. Finally, we landed here the area where I had to stay in the car for the next morning. When I left that patient, I turned my back, rushing the comfort section. Dr. Brown started to identify who brought this patient. He said one representative. Finally, it was William Dakel. He sent a text to Snow and all the people. We were going for a public hearing. Somewhere I was just in that meeting. I heard people just gossiping. Clarence, trained child. So the late Zeta Bishop told Adam Lauren, may he so rest in Peter. Look, your brother just took an Ebola patient to the EQ and they said the lady had died. Everybody speak of Tyler coming. William, you can't attend the session. You gotta go.
You gotta leave.
Man, I got sick. Immediately I got sick that day. Man, all of the time I went in the field. The fight that Makori said that they try to resent me now, trying to like go. Yeah, my man, I started scared. So I called Dr. Tobo. He said,
you became
William,
ostracized.
I called him and said, William, did you touch the woman? I said, no, Dad, now I touched the woman. We would have put her in the picker and we took her there. He said, have they disinfected your picker? He said, William, go drink enough water, take your pill, and get rest for the day. And that was my terrible experience with that guy. He's still here myself all the time. Yeah, glad you wanted to share that.
All right, thank you, Doctor. Hello.
Yes, good morning, President Piso.
Good morning.
Once again, my name is Daniel Fidi. I call you from the Milk and Honey Land, NCA. Piso, thanks so much to your studio guests for, doing tremendous work in this country when it comes to diseases, where it's considering sicknesses coming to our country. So it's a complete risk. The doctor is taking with his life, and we must appreciate him actually. But we are hearing something in Sudan that there's an Ebola case. I think one Ebola case there.
Okay, sir. We want more call. We get lost of time, so we can keep one person long. Yeah, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Jackson, and let me say good morning to Dr. Tawa Niswa.
Good morning.
The lawyer as well. At certain point, you become certain different person. Good morning, Dr. Niswa, and happy to hear from you.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you.
And thank you so much for placing Liberia on the map internationally, not just fighting at home, but abroad. Sharing your own experience and expertise with the international, especially developed country like America, and then showcasing Liberia on the world map. We are really proud of you, and thank you for such a great piece you are reading, and we think that will go a long way. Thank you so much, and may God bless you, sir.
Thank you, Pastor Mayor. Thank you, Dad. Hello.
Governor Jackson, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Dr. Tobo Nyeswa, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
This is my PT game in the person of Nima County.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy you're in the studio today. I remember when Dr. Brisbane died. When we were found with Dr. Nathan Party, our money was not paid. We will meet unpaid until you left the country and America. So why will you pay our money? Thank you.
All right, Chief. You always have these kind of people. Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Pizzo.
Yeah, good morning, Musa.
Musa Sharif here speaking.
Yeah,
you had to say thank you to you this morning. We can recall vividly your involvement with the Ebola time, the Ebola issue, and the rest of the government officials that helped. And the cooperation of the citizenry, as exactly at a certain point in time, the citizens did cooperate. It was very important because there was a misinformation, as he said, and then that created more problems for us. But then later on, they got to know that the thing is a serious issue, like the war coming to an end, like the end time is here. Mother affair the child, child affair the mother, husband affair the wife. It became a very, very serious issue. We pray that we should never go to the states of Ebola anymore, and then let us strengthen the government institutions that are primarily responsible for health issues. They are very, very important for us. And then, thank you for the book, and then we're going to back up all that thing and start reading it.
Thank you. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said good morning to Dr. Yusuf. This is Reverend Ward Jr. The son of Sano Country. He's my Sano Country brother.
Yeah.
Well, Dad, we want to say thank you for everything that you have done, for the country. Placing our country on the map. We want to say thank you. But Dad, before you left the country, there was this controversy, about the last government. I think we had some information that they wanted to happen. And before we know it, but then you left the country, you're already out of our
I'm not really getting you clearly, honestly. Final call, then we'll go back to Dr. Yenso. Hello?
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Lorenzo Prince Boga from EAW.
Okay, Lorenzo.
Let me, Clarence, let me say thanks to Dad for coming back. But one question I want to ask is, I don't know how long it will take you to come back to country and contribute, or from where he is, whether he making some contribution. That's one thing I want to know. But Clarence, we that live in the EAW community, fortunately for me during the Ebola crisis, where I just live just outside the fence. And the kind of experience that we had, Clarence, I can remember that fateful Wednesday when the truck of their body came out of that fence, Clarence. It was on a Wednesday. I can still remember that day, Clarence. Every time we hear about Ebola, it's troubling, but I want to say thanks to that for, reminding us this morning. Sometimes it's good to have reflection on some of these things, and it's important that we reflect and see how best we can conscientize ourselves, because there could be another thing in the future tomorrow. You can't tell. Nobody knows the future.
Okay, Lawrence.
But again, Clarence, I just want to encourage the dad to see how best he can come back, or if he's not coming back from where he is, what is the contributions he's making to the country right now?
Thank you. Dr. Yensa, let's take the rest of the 3 minutes at least to wrap up. Yeah, let's hear you. It's seen a lot of people want you back here.
Thank you, Piso. It's always good to be back. I'm back. So that's the most important thing. Dr. William, Honorable William Dackett, you told the story very well, and I know there are several other stories, countless stories that people we encounter in the country that we're writing about and documented what had happened in the country. There are unwholesome heroes. There are people who did work that we didn't even know about. The people put themselves together in communities and did a piece of work. Some people used their private health facilities that provided services for Ebola. Community-based organizations came together and did all of that, and we were able to recognize some of them in the book. And so, I will encourage you to get it, the work that you did, some of the civil society organizations, the media, and other people that did a lot of work. I remember the story that Maurice William is telling in the Banjo area. We had to construct an Ebola treatment unit just for the people in the island clinic and all over the country while we there. I remember flying on the U.S. Military helicopter going across this country, FOIA, Grand Crew, and everywhere. Members of the incident management team that work with me, if you are listening to me this morning, your names are all acknowledged in the document. There was someone who raised an issue about controversy and how to leave the country. I don't want to dwell into that because for me it's not important at this stage to go at that level. The other thing I would like to tell you, my brother, I've worked for the government of Liberia for close to 2 decades, about 20 years. In 1998-99, I joined the Ministry of Health as a cadet, and my records are there. When I joined 98-99, when President Taylor came from a refugee camp from Ivory Coast as a refugee, came to this country, started as a cadet in the Ministry of Health, went through the ranks and file of the health system to secretary, director, deputy director, assistant minister, deputy minister of health, established an institution that I headed myself. And all of those institutions are still existing. The memory is fresh. Some of my supervisors and bosses that I work with, I did not get a warning letter one day about anything that I did in this country. I left a very clean record with integrity. Our country was in peril. We stood up as Liberians when international people came and they couldn't do it. Everyone came and said, look, we haven't seen a situation, and then we stood up, and I led a team to do that. I'm not part of politics, and so when the political aspect came and people wanted to do all sort of things, I thought it was the time to leave. You should know the time to leave the stage. And I left the stage peacefully and left this country. Whatsoever happened, you call controversy, my brother. One thing I do know is that even if you leave Liberia and commit a crime, there's a way that Liberia government can go after you. Yeah. I have no record in any code of law in this country. I have never been accused of any crime. My records are very, very clean and clear. You can check them anywhere in the Republic of Liberia. Institutions that I work with, right now, if you do a survey among workers, that are people that supervise me, they will tell you that it's a hard-working person. That's what they will tell you. So I'm proud of my record. I'm proud of my integrity. I'm proud of my experience. The government of Liberia have nothing against me. That's why I'm on this public radio and talking to the people of Liberia. And thank you for the great job that we did together. That's why I dedicated this book to the healthcare workers of this country. They stood up and we fought a great fight.
Okay, Dr. Nyanswa, thank you ever so much for coming. A lot of people asking me, how much for the book? That's at $35, right?
It's $35. It's online. Okay. And you can order it. Internationally, you will get it within 7 days. In the U.S., you can get it within a day or two.
Okay. Dr. Nyanswa, thank you so much. We look forward to more interaction. We look forward to the day you come back home and say, look, I'm coming, I'll settle now. Okay. Thank you so much for coming, man.
Peace, so thank you. Thank you. FA have been doing a tremendous, terrific piece of job. I follow you religiously. Thank you for being so improved, and thank you to be your institution for the work that you have done.
Thank you so much. A public health specialist and a lawyer, Dr. Tobo Yensa. I'm taking my usual weekend break Monday morning. I'll be back here. My name is Piso. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, and bye-bye to everybody.